Yo! I returned. The analog horror model has returned. He's back in a different room now. He's not in the back rooms anymore. This is what my house looks like. True. Um, Wavebird is not making an appearance today. He's actually part of the live stream. So to make up for this absence, I brought my real body with me. I don't think people know this about the lore of WAVEMAN, but I'm not actually the bird. I'm talking through you through the bird. Like the bird is my puppet. Because he's gonna show up in the live stream. Um I kind of don't have a choice but to show my real body here. Hey, this is me. This is what I really look like. I know this may be a shock, but I am a horror beyond your comprehension. Hey, there we go. That should be good. What's up? Anyway, so we're gonna watch the live stream. Let me open it up on my browser first. I have a talking aid, by the way, so I might sound like I have a lisp sometimes because I'm getting used to this mouth aid. Okay. By the way, mod applications are open, so if you want to mod my chat, feel free to apply to the Google form in my community post. And I'm gonna live stream like accepting or rejecting them. I already did pre-read some of them. You guys really suck at convincing people to be a mod. There were some standouts though. We're gonna see. I'm gonna have to verify a lot of the information that you guys say. But I'm looking forward to having at least 3 moderators that are active around my time. And that should be enough to block out like unsolicited leaks or um a gate what's it called? Gatekeeping? No, not gatekeeping. What's the word? Fucking backseating. Yeah, there we go. I was really getting pissed off with the backseating. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna open up a mod form just so people shut the fuck up finally. Hey, what's up, Tree? You guys want me to rotate my model a little bit? It's actually kind of quite nice. Maybe I should do it like this. Because now it looks like I'm facing my second monitor, which is where chat is. This is accurate. And if I'm looking at my actual monitor, I would be doing this, which is somewhat accurate, yeah. Hey, what's up? So if I'm talking to my chat or reading chat, I'm like at this position. I shouldn't spin though. I did make this model myself. It took like 8 hours of relearning Blender. But it was pretty simple, honestly. This isn't like a complicated model. So like I'm not gonna have like problems calibrating the lip flaps or anything. Because how this model works is that it's basically just a PNG. And the PNG is reactive with what I say. So when I speak, it looks like I'm talking, but it's just a series of random PNGs moving around. Old game, I guess data stuff. What is the model based on? I mean, it's not really based on anything. I created a guy that looks like he's from a PS1 game, and that's pretty much it. I do have a hat like this in real life. It's not as fancy though. Like there's no gold trimmings or whatever. It's just a black leather hat. I don't have the tuxedo though. I don't really usually wear that stuff. I'm thinking of updating this model though. I think it looks too creepy. Maybe if I make it more generic, like I make it actually look human, people would like it more, but whatever. By the way, this my model has like a really snatch waist. Um this is based this is somewhat based on my proportions. Don't ask. He's freakishly tall though, which I'm not. I'm just taller than average for Southeast Asian standards, but still like normal size. Whatever, man. The guy who said smash. Who said smash? What the fuck do you mean? What are you talking about? Model made by the HSR devs? Yeah, you can do better than that. Just say model made by the ZZZ devs. You would have a better slander. Anyway, so Wavebird is not here today, so I have to use my real model. He's in the live stream. He's actually part of Robin's Ultimate. I guess just as a um, preliminary statement, I am pulling Robin because honestly, in my opinion, I'm gonna go into this later after she's revealed. In my personal opinion, Robin is about as close as you can get to a must-pull character. Do I think your account is bricked without her? No, but it's gonna be. I think. I think after Robin's release, a lot of things are gonna be balanced around having Robin in one team, even Star Wars mode. So that's why I think she's kind of non-negotiable to skip because I it seems like content's gonna be a really rough time without her power spike in like every team possible. But whatever, we'll talk about that later. ZZZ devs would have you be bouncing around. True. I should add physics. Wait, what? What if I make like a female WAVEMAN model, WAVEwoman, and then I have like a voice changer, and then I do like a bizarre live stream where I just act like a cute streamer, and then I suddenly get like 200% more viewers. That sounds insane. That probably is like a real thing though. All of a sudden, people want to smash the Eldritch Being. All right, bro. As long as it has boobs, I guess. Whatever, man. I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. Can I convert my base Robin Adlons to Summer Robin? If only. You know, it's really funny that during this patch, I thought to myself, you know what? Getting Gilgamesh E1 isn't that bad of an idea. And then Robin was teased, and I'm like, okay, never mind. Why would you do that to yourself? I think every one of my accounts is pulling Robin because just it's so hard to find like a situation where Robin wouldn't straight up just be the best pull for your account. Like it really is hard to think of a situation like that. Like yeah, you could pull break in DOT and then like the third team will want to use Robin anyway. So like that's probably like the best scenario of like I can skip Robin somehow somewhat, but I don't know. I guess if you have full E6 characters and you don't care about Robin, then you can skip, but like it's really difficult to find a situation where she's not the most valuable pull, but whatever. Someone seems happy today. I mean, at this point, after I've burnt out to the I'm actually like I'm really burnt out on HSR and I'm just kind of enjoying it for what it is, an idle game. I don't even like care about HP inflation anymore at this point. It's to me, let's not get it twisted. Balancing is going to shit with Robin and Aventurine releasing. Like that is undeniable. The balancing will be fucked up from this point forward. And both of these characters are an example of why Star Rail balancing is garbage and has been garbage for quite a bit. But do I do I really have the energy to rant about it that much anymore? Not really. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like HP inflation is gonna happen. Gilgamesh released like a balanced unit and then ended up being whatever. And one patch later, we're gonna get the most valuable units ever. And then like Ashvale released balance, and we still ended up at this point. Himiko is broken. It's still Evanesia, despite how unhealthily balanced she also was, ended up being decapitated by Aventurine anyway. And it's like, okay, why do I even bother with it anymore? It's almost predictable what's gonna happen. Like, okay, I guess the balancing sucks. Like, what else can I say? I've said this like a million times already, so whatever. So I am enjoying this just because I don't care as much anymore. You know what? Foxy released a balanced character and then she ended up like this. Okay. You know, there's really no hope for me in hoping a character is balanced because like there's no reason for me to hope a character is balanced because at the end of the day they're just gonna get left behind anyway. So like why bother? Like the thing is, I don't think people realize this, but Robin is like a character that in the scope of the meta, Robin isn't exactly unhealthy because she boosts everyone sort of equally, but it's also not like a big Mortinox blade type of deal where Acheron is suddenly viable because it's specific enough to her. Like a world pre-Robin and post-Robin would have the same DPS as in the same rankings. Like I don't think Gilgamesh is gonna beat Himiko Nova all of a sudden because Himiko Nova also uses Robin, and that's just busted. Gilgamesh isn't suddenly just going to beat out all the characters he already wasn't beating already. Like, do you think Gilgamesh is gonna beat Ashblade after Robin? Hell no. Is Anaxa going to be better than Gilgamesh? Not really. Right now he isn't, and later on with Summer Robin, it's not gonna be that big either. Aglaya's still kind of the same as she's always been. And because the HP is increasing, it's not like they're gonna clear better suddenly because the content scaled up. So like it's gonna end up being the same thing anyway. If you skip Robin though, then you're fucked because now you have HP inflation on your ass. People overestimate E0 Robin. That's not true. Even with like the shittiest team building possible, E0 Robin's buff numbers are so high that like, and also even it's such a weird like it's a weird situation because Robin genuinely doesn't have many weaknesses, if any at all, because the characters that she already runs are strong anyway that you would be naturally running them, and her bare minimum team building is like bring a healer or bring a shielder. Like, okay, is that difficult? No. Not at all actually. Most people run sustain anyway, and even if you do run sustainless, because you're running sustainless, you have a lot of attack frequency and it makes up for the lack of healer. And like, okay, there's no team building issues, there's no like matchup issues. This unit is about as perfect as you can probably get. At least Blade is locked to using healers, but Robin isn't. I guess she dies easier because Blade is just so hard to kill, but you know, if the enemies die before that, then it doesn't matter. Oh man, I love HSR balancing. Doesn't she like ult once per year? Not really. I will say though, the reason why she's so good in like every other team is because the other options suck. Like I think the reason why she's such a big upgrade for Cyrene teams is because Cyrene has problems using 4.x supports because they're not Chrysos heirs. Robin is balanced to be a 4.x support, which is again, you have to look at a specialist like Asheville to get a scale of how big it is compared to previous supports. And that by itself is enough to lap many supports in the Robin core. In the Cyrene team. And Cyrene is about like the best that you could get for 3.x characters. So like what about 2.x characters? Well, if they couldn't use 3.x characters, they had to use the 4.x ones, and there you go, there's Robin, who's the most generic out of all of them. Like Cyrene has been in cryo freeze ever since the end of 3.x, so she was starting to fall off because she couldn't use all the newer characters that had a higher standard of power, and she was very reliant on E2 for like any further upgrades. Because Robin's here now, she doesn't have to go E2, and she gets to use a 4.x level unit, so like that's cool. She now is she Robin just ends up being the best Cyrene pair, really, in nearly all situations. Except I think the actual Mono Rem team, in which case I've heard reports that Robin beats out Cyrene, which is crazy to think about. But you know, that's how it goes. I can actually believe it. Oh man. I love HSR balancing. Are there any teams that don't want Summer Robin? Break, I guess. DOT is too squishy that going sustainless hurts, and you're not replacing Black Swan with Robin, but it's like, okay. It's two teams that are still kind of good, you know? And these days, Break is running E1 Tribi for some reason, because Fugue just is that much of a character, quote unquote. And well, if we're gonna go cost for cost, E1 Robin against E1 Tribi is not a real competition, so there you go. That's you can even argue that she's usable in Break. Is she the best? Probably not. But man, the fact that there even is a world where Few gets beat by Tribi E1 is such a bleak one. Anyway, the live stream is about to start. Why is the quality like absolute dog shit? Shut up. What the hell? Who is this dude? Why does this guy keep showing up in my recommended? Anyway, who is this? I'm probably insulting a lot of people because it's 1 million views, but oh man. It's 144p. I hope you guys like my model. I'm already getting used to it. Wait, somebody asked me a question. Do you prefer the universal support being backloaded like S Robin or front-loaded like Tribby and OG Robin? Tribby and OG Robin. Do you mean like the ults are up immediately? In Robin's case, her ult is pretty much immediate, actually. So I don't know what you mean. But like, it depends, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're backloaded or front-loaded, so to speak. Oh, we still have a timer after the timer. All right, bro. Keep this up. Anyway, to me that really matters if you have depowered in a stage or energy disappear, whatever the other one was, but I think stuff like front-loaded and back-loaded support only matters against debuffs like that. In which case, Tribby and Robin both suffer from it because their energy pools are so high even if they are front-loaded. So like, I guess... Oh, Tribby being 3.1 and S Robin being 4. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, the release date. Okay, I think I prefer front-loaded, honestly. Because, I think it's a lot worse when a DPS is released before their support. But it depends, right? Because, if the character is someone like Siridra, then it's still gonna be a problem. Because, you have a character that's so specific, she's not gonna be usable for a few patches without their main DPS. I mean, okay, I guess it depends on how many synergies you're looking for, right? I think if they're like a generalist like Tribby and Robin, it works. But if it's a specialist like Siridra or Yao Guang, I think front-loaded is kinda just worse. Enjoying this music. You can finally see me bobbing to some tunes. Another slop live stream. I am very concerned that this stream just has nothing. Because usually, like 12 hours before the live stream, Sakura Haven would post some crazy shit like, oh no, new Nova Flares, or oh no, new free 5-star announcement. But this time, Sakura Haven is completely silent, so I'm like, uh-oh. Is there legitimately nothing happening? Or did they get killed or somewhere? I'm like, okay. Where's the bingo card? Oh shit, wait. I can't make a bingo card right now. I don't think I have enough time to do it. I mean, I think all of this works. But whatever. Are you gonna make an investment guide for WAVEmaN? Yeah, I'll go. I will put that as a part of his character review. He's a pretty simple character to invest in. His E2 is the best, but you also want to complete his team first. So like, actually Mortinox Blade isn't required. Like the sad reality is that Mortinox Blades buffs don't work with elation damage. Some of them don't. Actually, most of his buffing comes from the 50% damage boost, and it's like, it doesn't work with WAVEN, so it's really weird. So like, yeah, pretty rough on that point. If you haven't pulled Mortinox Blade, you can actually pull S Robin, and with more verticals on S Robin, it actually ends up being somewhat better, just because all of the buffs actually work. But if you have Mortinox Blade, I don't think the Robin upgrade is necessarily worth it. Like, you pull S Robin if you already have Mortinox Blade, if you just believe she will be a good upgrade for your account, which it should be the case 99% of the time. A lot of new people are concerned with your appearance. Good.
Please welcome Mr. Kenneth.
Who is this?
Hello, everyone. I am Kenneth, a reader from the Inter-Astral Peace Corporation. If you're sitting in front of your screen right now looking for the perfect summer getaway,
This is not the voice that I expected for someone that looks like that.
Vacation resort in the cosmos, Astropolis.
Nothing beats a vacation in Astropolis. Gazing out at the cosmic horizon from a charming coast is truly a one-of-a-kind experience. We will provide you with a discount of up to 25% in credits.
While enjoying your vacation, don't forget to visit the Inter-Astral Peace Entertainment headquarters. We are dedicated to providing the ideal vacation residence for the elites from various civilizations and our employees.
The high society life of Astropolis deserves to be seen by the entire universe.
We also welcome every candidate with a dream. Whether you want to take center stage or stay behind the scenes, Inter-Astral Peace Entertainment is the stage for you to shine. Let every screen shine with dreams, and every show ignite the heart.
This summer, shine bright with Astropolis.
Okay. I guess there's a version Nope.
Whether or not your world
Okay.
has a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your Inter-Astral Peace Entertainment host, Albert. Thank you for tuning in right on time for the version 4.5 to roll the stars in Astropolis.
I like how my
Summer
model
program.
can actually move their
Joining
neck
me
like
on
this.
stage today is a super popular streamer
Movie.
who's taking the cosmos by storm with hundreds of millions of fans, Mr. Ratite.
Who?
Good
Who the
evening,
fuck is this?
friends. I'm Rata. Tonight, the two of us will be taking you to Astropolis to experience a romantic, passionate...
Those hands are
summer
uncanny.
coastal getaway.
Why is the dogs out?
That's right. The scent of Astropolis is just so intoxicating.
This is not my bird, by the way.
What do you expect when even the sea breeze smells like credits?
We just love that smell, don't we? Now then,
I mean, it's a beach
Inter-Astral
episode.
Entertainment
Why wouldn't
has
it be a
limited time
filler?
redemption code for
Oh, there's
all
a
of you
redemption
in
code.
front of the screen. Sipping fast stars, speeding through life. A huge shout out
Wow,
to the
they are
Inter-Astral
going
Racing
quick.
Association for their exclusive
Already
sponsorship for
a
tonight's
redemption
show.
code?
We hope you experience a whole new level of passion and speed in
Is this gonna be like 45 minutes again?
Thank the Glimmers
Oh,
of the Day
no.
Lounge, the Upside Down Restaurant, and the Inter-Astral Peace Shopping Mall for their generous support of this program. To all of you tuning in from Astropolis, may you always find novelty, surprises, and rewards.
So, let's kick off this summer story amidst the refreshing waves of Astropolis.
Version trailer? Okay, there we go.
Every time I return, I feel like a bird on a long journey.
Oh my god,
who has
Cluster
found
Del
a
Soul
quiet
music.
harbor to rest at.
The vast blue sea waits.
The weather in Astropolis is wonderful, and the moist breeze is filled with the scent of sunshine.
How about going on a vacation? Being too strung up is a dangerous sign.
Dude, we were just in the belly of the veracity. Why are we here?
In this moment, you make the summer sky sparkle. Listen to the tremors of freedom in your heart. Let the voice of our hearts converge. The performance is over. But the
Hey, I'm
sun
there.
shall
Can't you
cease.
guys see me?
Everyone is a lone gambler sailing forward upon the tides of time. An unwelcome guest. Lovely. If you wish to enter the ever-fluctuating market of Astropolis, you'll need the courage to subdue the fiercest waves.
Alright.
All between becoming the game's slave and the game's master.
1 million damage.
I've long since made up my mind.
For no reason.
I knew we weren't cut from the same cloth the first time I laid eyes on you.
Free yourself from the shackles. You can always start anew. My song will no longer carry any undertones from the harmonic strings.
Alright. Wow, that trailer was full of nothing.
Also give our two guests a warm welcome.
If you laugh, you go to hell. I'm gonna make
Hello,
that
dear
face.
viewers. I am Aventurine.
Thank you for having us, Albert and Ratite. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today.
Welcome, welcome. Teaming up with you two again makes me simply unable to hold back a hoot.
Do I have to do that too?
Albert's livestream is as lively as ever, and Astropolis remains just as captivating.
Okay.
The Trailblaze mission and Trailblaze Continuance in version 4.5
What is
will
this
both
snazzy
unfold
saxophone
on
in the
this
background?
brand new stage.
Oh my god, there I am, guys. There's
Sometime
Wavebird
after
right
our
there.
journey in Planet Arcadia wraps up, whether
That's
in the near
Wavebird.
or distant future,
True. That's why he's
we'll
not
be
on the stream
spending
today. He took a
very
vacation
special
to
vacation
Astropolis.
with Robin and Aventurine.
That's right. Summer is definitely in the air. Aventurine and I have both changed into breezier new looks. And even my mood has gotten brighter.
So, let's get to know
Okay.
this city of converging stars, brimming with vitality.
You got it. As the crown jewel of the IPC's business empire, Astropolis
Oh, no.
looks like a wondrous giant cube suspended in a band of light.
Hail colonialism
The design
and
inside
capitalism,
is
I
bursting with
guess.
nature and vitality, with curving artificial seas spreading across the ring-shaped ecological megastructure, right alongside the high-tech units where the IPC.
This is
personnel
dystopian as
live.
fuck.
Just look up from the coast and you'll see the universe's skyline. Across the whole cosmos, it's a view entirely unique to
This
Astropolis.
sounds like Albert's voice
The close
actor putting on a
integration of
different voice.
natural
That's really
ecology
funny.
And technological convenience is the
He voices
IPC's
all the
gold
owls.
standard for an ideal life city.
That's right. These commercial buildings and community units not only represent the elegant lifestyles of IPC workers and executives, but also the vacation destination of choice for
Yeah,
countless
yeah,
envoys,
yeah,
magnates, and officials from worlds within the
yeah,
pan-cosmic trade system.
Hit that beat.
The Interastral Racing Association has also set up a professional racing track in Astropolis, where you can witness thrilling high-speed races between veteran teams with your own eyes.
Okay.
Looking at it this way, even the sea breeze in this city
Oh my god, it's a
carries
war
the
armor
scent of
boss.
Feels and desire. That's classic Astropolis for you.
Hey, don't put it like that. Listen, when it comes to the IPC's multi-billion credit business deals, these are just essential amenities prepared for the cosmic tier clients and elite investors. Take the upside-down restaurant on the beach, for example. Walk through a special
It's
spiral
gonna be really
corridor to
awkward
get
exiting
there,
them out of
and you'll be
veracity and then
greeted
coming
by
into this
absolutely surreal
episode
view
right here.
right outside the window.
The beach looks like it got flipped up into the sky, while the sky
Who is
sank
that
to the
dude?
sea beneath your feet.
Just that one giant
Even
owl.
in Astropolis, a view like this is practically second to none.
Yo,
Funded
who
by
is
the
that dude?
IPC and built with cutting-edge tech, this restaurant lets you kick back, take in the stunning scenery, and savor the finest ingredients Astropolis has to offer.
But if we're talking about the most iconic landmark in Astropolis, it's gotta be the Interastral Peace Entertainment headquarters at Lodestar Tower.
So, is this the kind of view you get every day?
Huh?
Working at Interastral Peace Entertainment HQ?
Yours truly would be delighted to show all of you a day in the life of an IPE employee. On a morning full of energy, take a shuttle to Lodestar Tower.
IPE.
Along the commute, you'll see plenty of employee
Andre from Enfield. Oh right, that I
Head to
remember
the
that
grand
dude.
reception
The owl
hall,
dude from
and you can
Enfield.
catch an elevator straight to the public office area.
I remember that.
That's where you'll
There he
find the
is.
shared conference rooms and
Ooh,
employee break
hi.
rooms.
Isn't that
As
his
for our
voice?
main workspace here
Oh,
at
hello.
IPE, it's a colossal area.
I'm a
spanning
humanoid
tens of
owl.
thousands of square meters. We're talking workstations stacked from floor to ceiling.
With a
This
sea
is
of
just the
workstations like
Penacony
this, you'd probably
mechanic
have to
again.
memorize your desk number just to find your own seat, right?
Of course. This is also the set for the hit talk show Keeping Up with Star Rail,
Oh.
hosted by yours truly, Albert.
Wait, where?
See.
Where's the
So
set?
this is where
Oh, there it
everyone
is.
usually gets interviewed.
This is gonna be insane for
Scratch a
video
little secret.
edit.
I keep a secret stash of money hidden right here. Taking a quick peek before I clock in.
At the
gives
very
me
least, this
all
will be
the
good for video
motivation I need.
footage.
Blurting that out on a live broadcast means it's not exactly a secret anymore.
Wait, you're welcome to have a look around, everyone.
Aside from professional studios,
I will
Interactive
say,
Peace Entertainment also boasts a professional production center.
I will say the
Giant
Penacony
live
gravity
broadcast
mechanic actually did
matrix.
make me motion sick.
So
I
many
actually hated
screens lit up at the same
Penacony
time.
exploration.
Is every single one sending a broadcast
It
signal
used
out across
that
the
mechanic too
universe?
much, I was getting motion
That's
sick.
right. The special program you're all watching right now is being broadcast live through these very screens to every household across the cosmos.
Such a
Okay.
massive media network. No wonder the whole city seems to be moving to the same
Dude.
beat.
Well,
Do you
our
have a
friends in the
camera of
office
Lingshot
have a
changing
thirst for
clothes?
entertainment
Sorry.
that never
I
goes
said
dormant
nothing.
after all.
What is what? What is that?
What's
What's
that
going on?
noise?
Wait.
Forget anything I said. There's something
Listen.
serious happening.
Is someone talking?
Hello? Hello? Director? Director, are you there? We're suddenly picking up a weird signal on our end. What's going on?
That sure doesn't look like Astropolis on the screen.
That's plain Arcadia.
And it
Question
seems
mark.
they can't hear us at all on the other end.
Apologies, everyone. Just a minor glitch. Please continue.
What?
Just to be safe, I'd better report this to my superiors. Help.
It's Acheron trying to
No
report her
need to worry
location.
too much, everyone. It's probably just a cross signal from another show. With an assembly line this massive, a few hiccups are unavoidable.
The other live stream is fucking up
Stand.
this. Wait a sec. There's two live streams going
We're
on.
working
Oh
hard at
fuck!
it,
Am I
and
supposed to watch the
After
second
Peace
one?
Entertainment is just trying to climb a little
Oh, come
higher
on.
in Astropolis. At the top of Lodestar Tower is a floating island called Sky Call.
Okay, that's why this is short because
That's
there's
the
two live
residence
streams
of
going on, right?
IPC's most powerful and wealthiest
Oh my
bosses.
god. Okay.
Power, status, wealth. Oh, Albert has also dreamed of living up as high as the cosmic horizon, gazing out at the sea of stars. Enough daydreaming for now. Let's get back on track. What exactly brings Miss Robin and Director Aventurine to Astropolis?
Oh, don't tell me you're actually
It's on
here
Twitter. Oh,
vacation.
it's on Twitter. Okay.
I'm afraid I'm here to do some overtime. Ever since my brother left Penacony,
I do like that she
I've
has
taken
fat
over
birds.
as head of the Oak family. The
I'm
family's
actually
affairs
here.
keep me quite
I'm being
busy.
covered by the hair.
I'm
The
here
wave
on
bird
an
is right
assignment
here
this
somewhere.
time.
There seems to be quite a bit of fatigue hidden in your words, Miss Robin.
To tell you the truth,
He's being buried
I'm
under the,
truly at a
the
loss
sand.
as to how
Don't
we
don't
should
worry about it.
continue forward on the path of harmony. And it was only after my brother left that I slowly realized he had actually always been the one shielding me from the many storms of the past.
Oh, that sounds really sad.
But I won't give in just like that. I'll keep searching until I find a way of the
Who
harmony
is
that
this?
truly resonates with me.
Now that's the talented and radiant Miss Robin we all know and love. In an upcoming short, we'll also get to see a lot of behind-the-scenes stories between Miss Robin and the family, and witness the struggles she went through to regain her confidence and confront her current predicament. You got this, my favorite Miss Robin.
But hey, Since you're in Astropolis, Miss Robin, I'd suggest you take this opportunity to enjoy a rare vacation. After all,
We ain't never
staying
getting a
wound
Robin
too
Nova
tight
Flare,
is
bro.
bound to snap, right?
Thank you. I'll
If they
think
want
about
another
it.
And
playable
don't
character
forget,
as a boss,
this
who would
is
it
the
be, or
city
vice
of
versa?
Converging stars. Astropolis brings together visitors from all across
I think
the
a boss.
cosmos. You might just run into some truly inspiring people.
I
at
think
events.
Thanks for the reminder, Mr.
Galaxy
Whitehead.
Ranger 3v3,
And that actually
like in
reminds me.
Rappa, Ashvale,
Rumor
and
has
Blue
it that a
Tail on the
mysterious legacy
enemy side would be
left by
interesting.
Mr. Gopher Wood is here in Astropolis.
They can have a
Perhaps it
triple
is
joint
also
attack, and
connected to the
then
Harmony.
it would be a one-shot.
Looks like I really do need to wander around a bit more.
Oh, this feels like a trump card that revealed itself right when it was needed most. Could this also be related to Miss Robin's assignment?
Of course not. The renowned Starflux Grand Prix is kicking off soon in Astropolis.
Okay.
And I've been invited to perform at the opening ceremony.
No wonder my colleagues mentioned a huge star was coming to perform in Astropolis. The opening
Everybody's
ceremony
really
is
coping
even
for
getting
Nova
a
Flare.
whole live broadcast. Any chance you could drop a hint
Sure.
about the song
Sure.
you prepared?
Sure thing. I'll be performing a brand new single for the audience in Astropolis and listeners across
It would
the
be really
universe.
cool if we
Only
got
by
playable
chasing the wind.
Argenti.
It's a new track full of summer energy.
Yeah,
and I hope
true.
everyone will like it.
True. I wish
This
Argenti
beautiful
was
melody
playable.
will also accompany everyone in battle. Let's take a look at Robin's live summer performance.
Look at these fat asses. These birds are not meant to fly with that
I'll
weight.
take the stage alongside my little bird band to provide powerful buffs for the team. Certain actions taken by
Oh,
teammates
here comes
in
the
combat
Omega fat
act as
ass.
support for me, helping me build up vibes.
When using your skill, Robin brings out
Meta
the members
team.
of the Summer
Siren!
Songbirds band
No!
one by one. Let's welcome the bassist, Bessie. As vibes increase,
Siren!
drummer, and electronic musician Patty will also join the team one after the other.
Once all the summer songbird musicians are here, I'll join everyone in song to bring the team to a fever pitch. In this dynamic music zone,
He's
our
forgotten.
allies will gain buffs whenever they attack enemies. My band members and I will also be immune to all crowd control debuffs.
Wow. What
Wait, who
a
gets the
show.
ult here?
They even switched the
Evernight?
battle music to your new single. Well, seeing this kind of support makes me want to join in too.
Okay, there's
The
Cyrene. There she
battlefield
is.
has completely transformed into a summer music festival, bursting with energy.
Goodbye,
Now
Castress, I
that's
guess.
the power of
I
a
mean, ultimately, you would
superstar.
just put
A
RNC, I
little
guess,
bird
but
support isn't
whatever.
over
It's
yet.
okay.
When I use my ultimate on an ally teammate, that teammate will immediately take action and regenerate energy. And my own vibes will also increase.
Oh, so many chubby little birds are all coming together and cheering for our teammates.
That's the strength of Robin's fan
Uh,
club.
After
Wait,
using my
were
technique,
those enemies not
I'll
even
increase
Ice
the
Week?
damage dealt by all allies at the start of the next
Himiko
battle.
Nova team,
I'll
obviously.
also gain some vibes right
Yeah,
off
this
the
is
bat,
pretty
letting me
obvious.
summon my little bird band to the stage even faster.
I think these enemies aren't
Everyone
actually
can
Ice
soak up
Week,
the
by the
summer
way,
vibes.
but
And rock out
okay.
with me during this story in Astropolis.
Oh yeah!
Now let's take a look at director of Venturine's story.
Wait, we're going through it this quickly? Holy. Not even like a million banter. Imagine doing this after Blade just
After
turned
wrapping up
black
a
and said,
mountain of work, director of
"You will
Venturine
serve as
has
a
kicked
tempering
off a
fire,"
relaxing
and then some
vacation
dude just
in
surfs.
Astropolis. Oh, look at that fresh and laid-back new look. Complete with a dashing wink. Ooh, it puts you right in the vacation mood.
Well said. Let's throw an epic beach party. Everything's on me.
Woo! Beach body, here I come!
As tempting as Mr. Aventurine's party sounds, word on the street is you've still got a pretty big case hanging over your head. No?
No.
Where is this coming from?
Well, Mr. Ratite sure is well informed.
Aven has come
It's
home
like
and
I
so
can't
have
get
I.
away without saying something.
You know what? I respect it.
I'm sure you all remember during that gamble in Penacony, I had to shatter my cornerstone in order to complete my mission.
Yep.
But according to the creed of the 10 Stonehearts, a shattered cornerstone means paying the debt with your life.
Oh.
But didn't the 10 Stonehearts already hold a vote? At least, judging by the outcome, you weren't executed. You made it back to Mr. Diamond's side.
Yeah, but everything comes at a cost. After I got back,
Cost?
Mr.
Did you just say
Diamond personally
cost?
gave me an assignment to root out a traitor among the 10 Stonehearts.
He's gonna find the
There's
imposter?
actually a traitor among the 10 stone.
Among us?
Oh?
Well, that was pretty much my reaction too. But once the cards are on the table, you've gotta play the hand. Here's the catch though. 0 clues, an unknown cost, and no plan. How I investigate is entirely
There's an
up to
imposter
me.
among us.
If I place the wrong bet, this case will probably vanish without a trace. And me right along with it.
Oh.
Whew, thank goodness I don't work in that strategic investment department. That job is way too tough. Just
Aventurine,
lock it
you
in
need to
and
find out who the
face
traitor is.
fate.
Besides,
Why
not
is the
all
Galaxy
of
Ranger
10 Stoneheart
in
colleagues are
in
friendly
possession
toward
of
him.
all of our
I remember
home
during
addresses?
the trial,
Who would do this?
Someone supported punishing Mr. Avenger.
Why is
right
Buto
off the
killing
bat.
everybody left and
Who
right?
was that?
Do you know about this
His
Aventurine?
name's Sugilite.
Uh,
A guy with some serious
Sugilite
twisted
mentioned?
humor.
That guy?
So, you suspect Sugilite is the traitor?
Oh, suspicions are just
What?
suspicions. At the card table, nothing's cheaper than an empty assertion. Anyway, I'll use my connections, network, and chips to verify every single hypothesis about the traitor.
Is there a new video
Oh no.
already?
Oh no.
How will Director Aventurine tackle this tricky assignment? What
It's the
kind of
purple
pressure
guy
will
with
unfold
dark
among
skin
the
and
10
white hair.
Stonehearts this
Number
time?
5.
Find out for yourselves in the version 4.5 Trailblaze Continuance.
Can't wait.
Of course! Aside from the daily grind, we can't forget about vacations in Astropolis. So now, let's take a look at how Mr. Aventurine turned summer into his home turf.
Great.
Once in
What?
battle, I'll bring my teammates along for some
Okay, this is a
lively summer
goofy out team.
So refreshing.
Bro, they really regret
You
not
even
giving
turned
the
water
HPT
gun
healing,
into a
huh?
combat weapon. That's very Astropolis.
And one of my
I swear to God, if
best
fucking
blood-pumping beach
WAVEN is the
volleyball.
bondmate,
When
I'm
I
gonna
use my
shoot
skill, I
myself.
deliver a stunning spike, dealing damage to all enemies.
You really are a pro at sports, Director. I bet the vast oceans of our Astropolis are the perfect spot to catch some waves and show off.
Bro,
your
just let it go,
surface skills.
man.
That's right.
Ain't nobody
When
playing
I
this
use my
team with the
ultimate, I
HPT
ride the
sig.
waves across the sparkling sea, dealing massive damage to all enemies while increasing my own speed.
Just watching these sun-soaked seaside sports fills you with so much energy.
And while I have certified banger, my skill and ultimate will deal extra elation damage.
WAVEN, you're not
The
buffed.
rhythm I
Use
set during
Blade
these
Soul.
beach sports gets my teammates fired up too.
Avenge.
Everyone's
Ashvale, you're not buffed yet.
Punchlines and fervor.
Oh no, mono elation.
It's worth mentioning that when Aventurine uses his skill and ultimate, he also gains punchlines and fervor.
When fervor reaches a certain level, my elation skill will
No,
immediately
Aventurine,
trigger an
Yagwang's buff
extra
isn't
time.
up.
Not only does it attack all enemies, but it also deals multiple extra instances
No.
of random single target damage. And when the next AHA instant rolls around, my elation skill will be further enhanced, consuming all fervor
He is
for
both a
an
main
even
DPS
bigger
and a sub
payoff.
DPS.
A so glad commercial.
He's actually a better sub
But it's
DPS than
not
Sparksy,
just
if you
the
can believe
elation
it.
skill.
I'm not joking, this is a real thing.
Aventurine's endorsement deals leveled up too.
The balancing
As
of
for
this
my
character is
technique,
fucking dog
I'll ride
shit.
the waves, attack enemies, and gain fervor and certified banger upon entering battle.
After seeing Director Venturine's beach vacation, I just want to submit my own PTO right now. Enjoying the ocean breeze on the beach, far away from work. If only I could just not work and still get paid.
I'm investing in your dream.
What?
That's it. Boy, stop joking around.
Oh, I'm not joking. To all my friends in the audience, I'd like to use today's stream to announce
What?
some good news.
3 days,
I
20 billion,
have
one massive spending
been
spree.
cooking up a wildly exciting new
This
show
content can be
concept
experienced in
right here
advance.
in Astropolis.
Oh, this is
The
story. Oh.
All You Can Lose Challenge. If you manage to spend the 20 billion credits I give you within 3 days here in Astropolis, you'll walk away with an inflation-proof 100 billion credits, achieving a level
Is
of
the background your
financial
IRL
freedom that
room?
even IPC
Don't look it up on
executives
stock
can only
images.
dream of.
And yeah, it is my room.
How much?
20 billion?
Talk about going big.
I stake my streamer career to guarantee everyone that this challenge is 100% legit.
Inflation
Just
mentioned?
complete
Why
the
would you even
mission,
catch that?
And 100 billion credits will be paid out in full. Fair and square.
100 billion credits.
Mr. Albert, calm down.
Aventurine
Don't scare
generates the
yourself
same
out
amount of
once in
punchline. It's actually really funny. Why would he do that? And he also speeds up aha instant if that isn't enough. What is this character? Who designed this?
Challenge invitation to
Oh man. He also has better eidolons, I guess, because fuck you.
Major media outlets across Astropolis have already taken notice of the big
Fuck you, I
hero,
guess, you know?
And countless viewers are dying to see if the Trailblazer shoots to stardom overnight or goes from hero to zero. Make sure to stay tuned to Rat Ice Channel, folks.
But that's 20 billion. What if they can't spend it all?
You're thinking too small, Albert. Investing in real estate, sponsoring a racing team, buying up luxury goods? Astropolis has plenty of great ways to complete the mission. The opportunity is staring you right in the face. Are you really going to pass up this chance to get rich overnight?
Hey, Trailblazer, you need to sign up. And
What?
don't forget your friends when you get rich. Remember to take Albert along once you.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Let's meet in the version 4.5 Trailblaze Continuance.
Okay.
I'll be waiting in Astropolis for the Trail.
Oh, so this guy's an actual
Challenge.
NPC I can talk to. I see.
So, regarding the story mission experience, there will also be a small update.
She rushing to
starting
her
in version
next gig?
4.5. Story dialogues
Oh?
can now be played at a faster speed.
Oh?
Switch it on or off at any
TikTok
time
speed?
during Story dialogues. Once it's on, the dialogue
Shaban!
playback speed
Shaban
will be
mentioned.
a little faster.
Appearance, actually.
Let's now take a look at
Okay.
this version's banner.
Oh, there's a new gacha
After
I'll
the
see.
version 4.5 update, the drop
Wow,
rate
this light
will be
cone is
boosted
really
for the
useless.
limited 5-star character
I'm so glad they
Rising
haven't
Summer
given up on it.
Wrath.
It's almost
And
admirable that they haven't given up how
5-star
much of a
light
brick this
cone
OC is.
Rise and sing.
The limited 5-star
Oh, what the
characters
fuck?
rising. The limited 5-star light
Oh,
cones,
no.
long may rainbows adorn the sky.
I didn't expect Tyazine. Didn't she just
The
rerun?
4-star light cone, a little getaway.
Alright.
It's also been added to version 4.5's first half banner lineup.
Okay.
And on September 12th, the second phase of version
All right.
4.5 will begin. And the drop rates for the limited 5-star character, Aventurine Wave Flare. And the limited 5-star light cone, Summer Rides the Surf, will be boosted. The
Okay,
limited
this makes
5-star
sense.
Character Ashbel
That's fair.
And the limited 5-star light cone,
That it's
the
his best party
Finale
member.
of
Yeah,
Awe,
true, true.
will also have a rerun.
Also, just a quick reminder that version 4.5 will run for about 5 weeks.
What?
So, the schedule for permanent challenge mode.
Holy shit, this is short.
Will be adjusted. Trailblazers, please keep an eye out for future
What the
official
fuck
announcements
is this?
for more details.
What is this
Alright,
scheduling?
let's
What is
take a
this?
break. There's still some fun version event content coming your way.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, there you go. That's look at these chubby birds. What are they eating? Shorter patch means less dailies. True. Oh no. Robin being first phase is also kind of rough. Wait a second. I don't think I have enough pulls for this now that I think about it. Oh no. I sure hope the Jades are front-loaded.
Welcome back. Let's turn our attention to the hottest racing event in Astropolis right now. The Starflex opener has ignited the passion of the entire universe.
Mario Kart.
Right here in Astropolis.
Or what is the game? Forza?
Is officially
Driving
kicking
simulator?
We're certainly no strangers to racing. Don't forget, the Trailblazer is the champion racer of Penacony's Speed Cup.
Yeah, they're
Maybe the
competitive
champion this
racists.
time, I'm sure they won't get cold feet.
Oh, no, no, no. The Trailblazer isn't here as a driver this time around. Instead, they'll be stepping up as a team principal to take on a
I can't wait to be a
brand new
racist for this event.
That's right. Racing has never been a solo sport. A powerhouse team relies on the precision
Of course, you need
teamwork of
pedestrians.
the entire
It's a
group,
PvP.
as well as a leader who can see the big picture and call the shots.
Oh? So what exactly does the Trailblazer need to do?
As the team principal, the Trailblazer needs to
Why
assign and select
is he
starting
here?
drivers, devise race strategies based on the
Just
circuitry
rubbing salt
conditions,
on the wound,
and
man.
call
Stop
the
it.
shots in the heat of the
Get this
race.
man off of my
Drivers
face.
seize opportunities and break away from the pack.
Wow, this isn't just about knowing how to drive. Do the race strategies include a plan A and plan B, with adjustments made on the spot?
If I see Ling Shaw,
No
I'm
need
going
for all
to...
those formalities. We can just jump straight to plan C. Plan
It's
C
like an
is
insult to me
combat.
now at this point when these characters
Out
show
on
up
the
without a
track,
Nova Flare.
Racers need to pull off slick drifts to gain the upper hand on corners. You also have to attack your opponents at just the right moment. Deploy your special abilities strategically and seize every chance to overtake if you want to snatch the win.
Oh, so
How is Jiao Cho
intense.
driving? Bro
That
is
minute just
blind.
now, the gap
That's
was
a
so
good point,
incredibly
actually.
slim. So, is there any way to
What?
further
That's-
improve
it's
the
kind of
car's
fucked up that he has a
performance to
car
ensure
at
a higher
all.
win rate?
Absolutely. As a notorious team principal once said, if your car isn't fast enough, change your fucking car.
What?
Throughout the Grand Prix season, the team will get several
Did he just
opportunities
curse?
for R&D and upgrades. The Trailblazer can select specific parts to focus the research on. Not only do different parts feature unique looks and ability effects, but they also push the car's performance in completely different directions.
In other words,
What did he
we
say?
have the freedom to choose our own R&D direction.
Man,
Whether
you
we
had
wanna
Boots
King
Hill
of
be
the
censored and...
Streets or King of the Corners.
Boots Hill is in shambles
After
right
you
now.
upgrade the vehicle's performance and equip the parts. Not only will it gain more power, but you can also give it a unique look. Top it off with a custom livery and racing number. And your very own one-of-a-kind ride is born!
Huh?
Awesome! I can't wait to hit the track with my very own custom ride.
Complete the event mission.
Ah, the free-to-play
Also
Asheville
four-star
LC,
event
yes.
Lycone. Race to the horizon.
This is actually a pretty decent
Lead
one.
your racing team and become the brightest
This has good stats
rising
and all.
star on the circuit. On top of that, this version also features a lighthearted and fun
What?
assignment event, Minuscule Great Adventure.
Zila and
for Trailblazers
Japard.
to experience.
What is he?
In these assignments, the Trailblazer won't need to control characters in battle.
Huh?
Just set up your lineup to counter the enemies in the stage.
Oh, it's a fucking auto
Each
battle.
stage comes with corresponding buffs. Follow the hints to set up your lineup, and you might just get twice the result with half the effort.
4-man endgame? Is this what
Choices
this
are
is
super
about?
important.
Oh no.
The combat squad will wrap things up after several waves, and then you can check the combat report to see how each member
Ah!
performed.
Give me damage
Let's
parsers
see
in
if
the actual
anyone was
endgame, you
slacking
fucking
off during the
losers.
challenge.
Plus, you'll have the
Give
chance
me,
to
just give me a
unlock some
damage
fun
parser and
titles.
then we'll see, bro.
You'll
I'm
also
tired
get
of this
some
shit.
Easter egg dialogue between squad members.
What if I haven't unlocked some characters?
Anything
yet?
but the actual
Will that
end
affect
game,
the
man.
challenge?
Anything.
Don't worry. Every stage provides trial characters. Just experiment with the right team setups, complete the challenge,
Oh my god,
and
it's Slingshot.
snag those rewards.
Diva spotted.
Plus,
Okay.
the Divergent universe is also
Oh
getting a
god.
gameplay update in version
I haven't played this
4.5,
mod in forever.
introducing new gameplay for
I
5
hate this
schools,
version
along
of
with a ton
Divergent
new
Universe, man. I'm afraid I will never get all of the rewards.
Among them is the super addictive Trader Mask. Select it, and a brand new currency will be added to your current Divergent Universe run, Arcadia Coins. The price of Arcadia Coins will constantly fluctuate during the challenge. Just seize the opportunity to buy low and sell high, and you'll be able to exchange them for a massive amount of cosmic fragments.
There's even a price chart. It instantly gives off the tense vibe of a real trading floor.
Well, when in Astropolis, do as the locals do.
On top of that, there's also the super handy
Hmm?
Gluttonous Mask. Wear it, and during the match, you can enter a special reward room called the Vault, which is absolutely full of cute trotters.
I know this one. Just use your overworld abilities wisely to catch trotters, and you'll get massive
That's not
rewards.
using your overworld abilities.
Unlike normal adventure rooms, the Vault can
Okay.
be leveled up by deleting other domains. The bigger the waves, the more valuable the fish. The
Bigger
higher
the
run
wave?
level,
What are you talking
the
about? I'm not
greater
fat.
the rewards.
So in this update, the synchronicity points level cap
Oh my god.
raised to 80.
Bro,
And
I'm like
the
30
available
right now.
challenge levels will also increase to times 10.
Actually, even less. I think
Eye
I'm 20
future
on
official
European.
announcements for more update details. We can't wait for Trailblazers to experience everything.
Of course, this version will
Of course.
also feature the planar
Relics
Fisher
events.
and Realm of the Strange double reward events. So don't forget to take on the challenges. The Gift of Odyssey will also be arriving right
Gift
on
of
schedule.
Odyssey.
Just log in and check in to claim
Gift
a
of
tin.
Odyssey.
Oh, yeah!
Additionally, this version will introduce new Trailblaze fashion.
Okay.
The digital emoji standee headwear. Aw, look up here.
I don't think I'm
This
ever
is
gonna
most
change the
powerful
Lygus
emoji
helmet.
in plain Arcadia. I dare you to lock eyes with it for 3 seconds.
It's definitely an eye catcher.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be back shortly with some exciting collaboration information to share.
What collab information you said? Okay, honestly, this stream is running a bit longer than expected. It's almost gonna be 45 minutes, which makes me scared that this is gonna be the last leg. ZZZ. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Where? I forgot there was gonna be like a ZZZ thing. Oh no, what is this? I just realized you have face cam on. I mean, is it really that hard to notice? I mean, there's an analog horror guy in front of you, so.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at this version's collaboration news.
Hmm.
The Honkai Star Rail and Moondrop collaboration is
Okay.
going live soon. This time,
A
the
Sparksy
collaboration
merchandise.
is our very
Can you give her a
own
Nova Flare
Sparksicle.
too?
Sparksy
No?
themed
Okay.
collaboration earphones.
Can you give her
On
another
first
support
sight,
at least? We're
captivating
getting sick of Yoko.
first listen. By now,
I love it when
a
HSR releases 4
limited
DPSs and
Sparksy
needs
approach
one support.
standing keychain.
Fucking
This series will be available
Amazing.
in multiple regions globally, with multi-phase online and offline collaboration events gradually unlocking.
Please stay tuned to future official announcements for more collaboration details. Speaking of collaborations,
Hmm?
Zenless Zone
There we
Zero
go.
recently announced a collaboration with Honkai Star Rail.
Mm-hmm. And I'm
When's it coming?
absolutely thrilled to
Is there a
announce to you
video?
all, Honkai Star Rail will also be
Oh,
launching
it's on
Zenless
Winner.
Zone Zero collaboration content later this year. We'll even have some friends from that world joining our cosmic trailblazing adventure.
All right. Who could it be? I'm already very curious.
Enna. Me too.
Let's just stay tuned for the subsequent official announcements. And with that, we're nearing the end of today's show. Let's join
It would be
up
really
with
funny if they
the
put in a
official
random
4.5
ZZZ character just to write them off a story. They're in HSR now, don't worry about them.
And thanks to our 2 guests for joining us.
Oh, good work, everyone. But honestly, that signal from earlier is still bugging me.
Yeah, me too. It didn't look to me like a normal broadcast glitch right from the start.
I feel the same way. But I already sent the information to Madam Jade half a system hour ago. So please leave the follow-up to me.
Oh, catch you later then, Albert. Bro.
Thanks for your hard work, Owlbird. Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
I've been in the biz a long time. There's nothing I, Albert, haven't seen. But this time, I'm getting the creeps.
Is there an earthquake?
It's really unsettling.
There's an earthquake. What the?
Warning. Massive influx of wish power detected.
Oh no, he's dead! Wait, oh. Oh. He's alive. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Who?
Wait, it worked?
Oh, we got through.
Finally. This is great. We're from Planet Arcadia. Mr. Owlbird, please help us.
I'm your host, Albert, and this is Astropolis? Hello? Director? Is that signal? That signal's coming through! Can you pinpoint their location? What should we do? Amber, Lord, preserve us. What's the situation in Plain Arcadia right now?
Tons of horrifying monsters are attacking us in Duo Mansion City. We've gotten help of several cities and used wish power to link up the TV tower. It took us a lot to get the signal transmitted. You're the first one to answer us, and you're
Where is Pearl?
Please get the IPC to send help to us.
Kachiba? No, that wasn't. I thought it was Kachiba. Damn
What
it.
did the IPC emergency response manual say
Is that
again?
Wanderer?
Okay, here's the plan. You guys hurry up and find a safe place to hide nearby.
I thought it was
I'll report
Wanderer.
your situation, so please wait around.
We're in the
somewhere
back
safe for
rooms, it
rescue.
looks like.
Ta-da!
They're doxing me. What?
The fools have heard your calls. I know that voice. It's Sparksicle.
Why is Miss Sparksy here? And the fools?
Boxy?
We're here to save you, of course. Sparksicle would never abandon her fans. Not a single one. Snap out of your daze. Look beside you. It's the everywhere door.
Oh, it's Sample.
Off we go.
This just looks like my analog horror video now.
Sparksicle, I'll always be your fan.
Yeah! Let's go!
Thanks for your help, dear audience. The massive
Art.
amount of wish power you helped to accumulate tore open a pathway for the blocked signal. Without all of you, these folks would have been in danger.
Stop sample baiting us.
Can you hear me?
Huh? Who's on the other end? Oh, Fatbeak. It's you.
Fat beak. Fat bitch.
Thank the Amber
That's you.
Lord. It's wonderful to see you.
There's nothing wonderful about this situation. The Veracity is making a big fuss in Plain Arcadia from being awakened. But kind Sparksicle is here to help with the crisis.
Kind
Shampoo, me,
Sparksicle.
and the other fools are helping those trapped escape to the Tavern of Elation.
Thank goodness. I was worried sick. All right. Where's all the express crew? And the Trailblazer?
Don't worry, Albert. Everyone's at Perdido Station's temporary shelter. The Trailblazer's planning to fire up the Astral Express and take some survivors to Astropolis.
All right. Silly me.
Alright.
If they came to Astropolis, the IPC will definitely help everyone out.
The other nameless will stay in plain Arcadia to help with relief efforts.
Are the people
That's
who
Sunday.
stay behind really safe?
Madam Pearl and the security forces are with them. Everyone will be fine. But I've got to end our little chat here. The Fools just brought in 2 more wounded. I'm off to the rescue.
All right. Thank the Amber Lord. To all our viewers in front of the screen, I am your host, Albert. Tonight, thanks to the joint efforts of the Plain Arcadia survivors and mysterious forces from beyond the sky, 2 planets have miraculously linked together, allowing us to witness the crisis currently unfolding in Plain Arcadia.
We're just ditching them to enjoy the beach while they're dying.
4.5, the Trailblaze mission will also continue. The Trailblazer will set off from Plain
There's 2
Arcadia,
separate ones
trying to
going
shake
on.
up the veracities
That's kind of
of
cool,
appearance
honestly.
and make their way to Astropolis. On this vital planet belonging to the Interastral Peace Corporation,
Sorry,
lie
I was
the
yawning.
crucial powers needed to aid Plain Arcadia, as well as an undercurrent of hidden secrets. How will the Trailblazer navigate the complex upper echelons of the IPC? And can they resolve the veracity crisis that once again threatens the entire universe? All answers will be revealed in the version 4.5 update.
All
on
will be
August
revealed
26th.
in Lunar Flame. Ah, there it is.
It's too late. The veracity has awakened.
The entire Consternation Star Zone will be reduced to a feast for the ravenous.
Quick, onto Starblazer, immediately!
This isn't where your battle lies. A request
Is that
from Astro
Nihilux?
Express take you to Astropolis. I have but one request.
My potential main push. Potential Cyrene.
All I can to paint and recreate the miracle.
Run.
Who is this?
I'm telling you, we can't keep letting that bird broadcast reports like this. If this goes on, things are bound to spiral out of control. Maybe we should contact media to cut out the parts about Plain Arcadia. I'll call the boss.
We shouldn't bother Mr. Oswaldo unnecessarily. Since that bird wants to suffer, I'll help him out.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
Jade!
Take them away.
Yes, Madam Jade.
What are you
What?
doing? I'm innocent, please! He's behind everything! Don't arrest me!
I found the source of the signal blockage. Pearl, how are things on your end?
The disaster is still under control. Final contingency plan launched. All ports and safety zones opened. Civilian evacuation efforts are underway at full capacity, but the activity index of the husk is rising exponentially. Assessment: the only way to buy time is to seal Plain Arcadia in the canvas once more.
What's the success rate?
42.86%.
Lower than 50%. That means the operation over there has begun.
I've asked the Astral Express to head for
Pearl
Astropolis.
side breasts.
Before the husk breaks through the seal, we have to report Plain Arcadia's situation to the IPC's board and ensure that
the balance of the IPC tips toward protection.
This looks like a game. What was it called?
I'll make the necessary preparations with the
Don't
IPC
go
at
outside.
Astropolis.
Thank you. Please do all you can for the survival
Liked.
of Plain Arcadia.
Yeah.
I am trust matters to you,
Like
Jade,
button.
and to the Trailblazer.
Okay. Is that actually it? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Okay, it is it. It's over. Alright, I guess we can talk about this now. Wow, they went through the stream really quickly. It's... How many minutes is it? Actually 45 minutes or some shit. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I pinpointed the time to it. Anyway, I guess we can talk about these units now.
My
Robin being phase 1 is kind of fucked up. Okay, wait, where's the banners? How the hell are we surviving this? Who fucking knows, man? I don't know. Okay, let me see. I actually created a script for this entire thing. By the way, I might just make it into a... I might just, like, say it on stream and then, like, cut it up. So, like, a video, so I guess that's fine. How long do I want this stream to go on for? I kind of want it to go less than 2 hours, so let's do that. Okay, so first character, Robin Samaretto. For the purposes of both comedy and making things easier to understand, we're gonna call her Roberto. Roberto is a remembrance character, and I guess we just never miss with remembrance characters after Aglaya, because this unit is ridiculous. Roberto works pretty similar to Morton Oxblade, if you don't know what her kit is. She has a resource mechanic called Vibes, which increases when characters attack or receive healing once per turn. Do both and you get double. You can also get it by if your character is shielded, which is pretty cool. When Roberto reaches 12 vibes, she enters a fever time state. And during the fever time state, she doesn't get her turn anymore. So like her base form. And there's a 140 speed timer, just like Blade. And when the timer takes a turn, the vibes get cut in half with a minimum of 12 vibes. So if the timer acts with 20 stacks, it gets cut to not 10, but 12. You get how it is, right? And if Roberto doesn't have 12 vibes anymore, the fever time expires, right? Her skill is pretty basic, like every other Memo Sprite character. It just heals the Memo Sprite and, you know, summons the Memo Sprite if they died. It also gives her 6 vibes, which is pretty cool, I guess. Her ult is a pretty cheap one, honestly, at 140 energy cost. And it will advance one character by 100%, regenerate their energy by 20%, and then allow the character that she used the ult on to stack vibes faster. Around 6 vibes per ult, I think it is, or is it 4? 4 extra vibe stacks. Anyway, the function of the birds is that her summons will just periodically attack based on Roberto's max HP. So it's like kind of just like Mem, but you know, based on max HP. And I believe the birds only attack if Roberto is in the fever time state, so you know how that goes. But that's basically just the most bare bones basic of Roberto's kit. What does make Roberto ridiculous is not because of how her kit works. I mean, 100% action advance is good, and 20% energy is, you know, pretty cool. Sunday is the only character that has 20% like that for a single character, I believe. But the best part about Robin isn't that her kit is like full of niches or whatever. It's because their buffs are ridiculous. So let's talk about the buffs during fever time. I made calculations on this, very basic calculations. First of all, while fever time is up, you get a near unconditional 16% vulnerability. It's actually based on how many birds you have on the field, but because fever time has all of the birds anyway, you'll get 16% vulnerability 100% of the time. Don't worry about it. Second of all, if a party member's attack is higher than Roberto's and they gain vibes, so either you just attack with any character that has a higher attack than Roberto, that character that has the higher attack will gain a really strong attack buff equal to the vibes Robin currently has. From the gameplay showcases that I've seen, vibes is normally at around more than 20 vibes normally, and at its highest, it gets up to 40 if you're using a synergistic team. But even if you're not using a synergistic team, getting 40 is pretty easy, it seems like. So, yeah. Even without a healer, you can compensate with high attack frequency. So, it's fine. If you can go sustainless, you don't actually need healing. It's just to kind of bridge the gap a little bit. But anyway. The scaling of the attack buff is pretty high. If you are hovering around 20 vibes by itself gives you 2,000 attack. And if you are hovering at 40 stacks, which is the bare minimum for a synergistic team like Gilgamesh and stuff. Roberto gives you 4,000 attack. If you want a comparison, Harmony Robin is around only 1,200 attack for the entire team. And Robin Harmony is like the best attack buffer that isn't named Kafka. So, you know how this goes, right? This is a character that gives 2 times the amount of attack of her base form at worst, and 4 times, and nearly 4 times at best. So, yeah. If you want an even funnier comparison, Ceridra only gives 900 attack. Around 960 actually, more around 960, around that area. And Sunday gives you no attack. So you know, just keep that in mind of how strong this attack buff can be. Oh, the attack buff is based on her max HP, by the way. So I'm taking in if you have 8,000 max HP on Robin, which should be pretty simple if you build her even with an ERR rope. So if you count that, that is let me show the formula. Hold on. The formula is this. Where is it? There it is. Okay. 16% plus vibes times 0.4% of Robin Summerato's max HP. So if you have 20 vibes, that is 16% plus 20 vibes times 0.4. 8. 16 plus 8. And then that is 16 plus 8 is 24. So 24% of 8,000 max HP. That is, wait a second. Times 0.24. That's 1,920 at 20 stacks. And then if you go 16 plus 16, so that's 32. Oh wait, actually, yeah, you're right. Never mind. It's not 4,000. It's 2,560. Yeah, never mind. Hold on. Let me adjust this. It actually isn't 4,000. It's 2,560. So it's double at best. Sorry. Still, it's really high. Again, that's twice as big as actual Robin Harmony. I don't know why I fucked up this calculation. I think I used... Oh yeah, never mind then. Okay, whatever. Let's go back. So she has double the attack buff of Harmony Robin at 40 stacks. At E2, that's the 4K attack. Sorry. Yeah. I read my script wrong. That's actually crazy. Anyway. She is by far the strongest attack buffer in the game. Because Kafka's too niche that you can't really make use of the attack buff and it's compensating for EHR stats. But, you know, yeah, that's a huge attack buff. What else could I say? But wait. Isn't Roberto HP... never mind, sorry. Depends on character attack, but yes, her attack is team... No, it depends on... It depends on Robin's stat. So like if Robin has 8,000 max HP, she's just going to give the same 8,000 portioned out to everyone. It doesn't matter how high the other character's attack is. Anyway. Since Roberto is also an HP scaler, there's also a failsafe for that, which is this part. Increases the crit damage by 40% plus vibes times 1.5%. If you calculate this, it means that at 20 vibes, which should be the normal thing that you have most of the time, that is 20 times 1.5. 30. So that is 70% team-wide crit damage. And if you go for 40, that'll be 20 plus 60. That's 80% crit damage team-wide. So wait, is that right? 40 times. I think I'm right. Wait a sec. Let me recheck this calculation. Yeah, okay, I'm right. So at 20 vibes, Robin gives 70% crit damage to the entire two characters that have lower attack than she does. And at 40 vibes, she gives 100% crit damage to characters with lower attack than her. Which is pretty high because if you compare it to supports right now, Sparkle for one target gives you around 48% crit damage. Which is, again, that's a crazy amount of stats. And if you look at the specialists right now, Ashvale gives 120% crit damage to follow-up attack, and Robin varies between 70 to 100%, which is really competitive as a generic buffer. And then you consider someone like Evernight. Evernight only really gives around 130% crit damage or so. She doesn't have any other of the other buffs that Robin's going to have. So again, this is just a really, really high amount of buffing for something that's really generic. And the fact that the team benefits from it. It's not just one target. It's kinda insane, to put it lightly. Even if you compare her to like Mortinox Blade gives 50% damage boost and 75 extra ult damage with Nihility. And 30% defense rate and 50% vuln. Robin gives you either a shitload of attack or a shitload of crit damage, which already kinda makes Blade's damage percent modifier kinda mid in comparison. But anyway. Robin also isn't locked to a healer, which is really, really nice. Read the first part, my guy. I know it is, I know. I just said it. Either gives you a shitload of attack or a shitload of crit damage, which is cool. I mean, that's... it is pretty insane. So if you put all of the buffs together... Actually, I haven't even mentioned the biggest part yet. I forgot to mention there's also a defense reduction in this kit because it's fucking crazy. So she gives 15% defense shred just at all, and vibes times 0.5% of the enemy target's defense. So like with 20 vibes, that's hovering around 25% defense shred, and with 40 vibes, that's 35% defense shred. Which is, you know, about 10% worse than Mortinox Blade, but that is a scary amount of defense shred for the amount that she already provides. That's kind of crazy. Okay. This is party-wide, by the way, so I guess, whatever, man. It's alright. So altogether, she has like, hold on, let me... Sorry, I forgot to write this down. Okay. So altogether, she gives you either 1.9k attack up to 2.56k attack, or she gives you 70% crit damage up to 100% crit damage. She gives you defense shred of 25% at the lower end and then 35% at the higher end. She gives you vulnerability 16% outright. There's like no uptime issue with it. She gives you 20% energy when she ults on one target, and she gives 100% action advance when she ults on one target. Wow, that's a lot of stats. Surely this has no consequence whatsoever to how much the HP is going to spike. Anyway, I think that kind of illustrates how good she really is by itself. Those are just really high numbers and really generic high numbers. Okay, so let's talk about Robin's flexibility, because this is gonna be one hell of a topic, and it's pretty much what she's balanced around, or at least the lack of balancing around. Let's talk about this more positively first. First of all, Roberto is an attack buffer that can change to be a crit damage buffer if her attack buff is useless. This is important because outside of DOT and break, everyone wants either crit damage or attack. The reason why you don't want Robin in the DOT team is because she's too squishy, and the team already has a lot of attack that it kind of gets negated, and the defense shred caps a bit at higher investment. Anyway, everyone that wants either crit damage or attack uses Robin. Mono Rem, obviously, she even replaces Cyrene in the showcase. That's pretty funny. Follow-up attack, yeah, she's pretty good with it. Himeko, yeah, she's the best in slot. Saber with Gilgamesh, yeah, she works with it. And those are pretty meta teams, except for maybe Saber Mesh. That's pushing the definition of meta a little bit, but you know. With how strong Robin's buffs are, even specialists like Ash Veil and Evernight are kinda losing in buffs, and Robin doesn't kick them out because at the very least they have their personal damage to speak for them, so that's okay. She has a lot of modifiers that she hits that are really, really key for the teams that we're talking about. A special standout is one of the most restrictive units in the game in terms of team building, which is Cyrene. Cyrene is restricted but has an abundance of power if she is able to be used in a specific team, right? Cyrene is a really good character, but outside of the Mono Rem team, she's been kind of a really weird character, especially at E0, since everyone else in her team has weaker vertical investment than she has anyway. And there's been no new teammates ever since her release. She's basically been in cryo freeze the entire time 4.x was happening, which means that she got a little bit power crept outside of Mono Rem at E0, because she just can't use any of the 4.x unit, and naturally that just means, well, she's gonna age if you're not gonna pull Eidolons into her, which feels kind of bad, you know? Not being able to use Mortenox Blade or Welt without sacrificing so much ult uptime really hurt her. And she started becoming really reliant on E2 because of that. But now that Roberto's released, guess what? You don't actually have to be a Crisis Heir, you just have to be a Remembrance character. And guess what Roberto is? She's Remembrance. So E0 Cyrene is finally able to use a 4.x level support, which is a different type of monster altogether compared to everything before it. And the synergy between Robin and Cyrene itself is so goddamn strong for very obvious reasons. Because not only does Cyrene get her own ult fast, but because Roberto herself has a strong ult that Cyrene charges up, it's kind of like a self-sustaining synergy at the start that is really strong for low cycling. You front load a lot of ultimates and a lot of advances that if the enemy doesn't die to how high Robin's buffs is, I would be really surprised. Most enemies in the game should not be able to survive just how much front-loaded ults that team has. Even if you're using someone like Anaxa, who's been kind of falling off recently, it's just, what is happening? But, anyway. The enemies will probably just die before the old timer even gets its turn back if you have like really good relics. Let's also talk about Finon, who's been kind of a weird character. Finon's last buff was Sparkle Nova Flare, and Finon's mechanic is very special because it allows him to kick out Robin from the field entirely, including her timer. But her buffs still tick up during Kazlana. So Finon is one of the only characters that can consistently go up to 40 even with how long the fight lasts. If you have Cyrene, you basically are going to be stuck at 50 forever. And at that point, if the enemy isn't dying yet, I'd be, again, very surprised. So she's a pretty significant upgrade, you can imagine, for Finon. Is it more significant than E2? Of course not. But it's a really strong synergy. Even with characters that attack a lot, like follow-up attack, Finon is just way more consistent because his mechanic is actually just absurd with this with Roberto. Finon doesn't also have a lot of defense shred, which means capping defense shred with how high he can stack it is like no issue whatsoever. You don't have to worry about it at all. Busted out unit, but what can I say? Do I prioritize the Ceridra or S Robin for E2 Finon? From what I've heard, you still want Ceridra because the double meteor mechanic is just way too good. But you have to consider, right? Robin is flexible. So you're not just pulling for a Finon upgrade. Like in this case of Ceridra, you're pulling basically just for Finon, or Anoxa maybe. Or Reen, I guess. But if you're pulling for Robin, you're upgrading every team in your account. Or at the very least, giving them a viable option if your best in slot is not active for them. Which is a huge deal because she's, for all intents and purposes, Roberto is a RMC upgrade, and RMC is being spammed way too much everywhere. It's very likely you'll have a situation where you want to use RMC, but you just don't have another RMC, in which case Roberto is going to be a huge upgrade for you. But objectively speaking, you would still want to pull Ceridra for Finon. It's just that for the purposes of your account, Roberto is probably going to end up a more universal upgrade. Anyway, let's talk about that later. Let's talk about Elation, because it really shouldn't be like this, but Roberto's buffs are so high, and it's generic enough that it could work with Elation, that Roberto is one of the best sustainless options. The reason why I wouldn't say she's the best outright is because she's not as tanky as Mortenox Blade, and, you know, Elation tends to be pretty squishy, but it's sort of ridiculous that she can beat out EMC, apparently, in some situations, which is just... I don't know what to even think about that anymore. It wasn't a hard feat anyway. EMC's buffs were... they were there, I suppose, but... it's crazy that she's even considered at the very least a side grade for the Elation team if you're, you know, replacing EMC or even a sub DPS. Apparently she's at the very least a side grade for those sub DPSs like Sparksy, because their buffs are just ridiculous. You can also try to be really insane and run Roberto with DOT and Break. Again, Break has a couple of issues, but I'm not joking whatsoever. You can actually use Roberto with Break, because the defense shred is high enough that if DOT wasn't fighting an enemy that just kills in one turn, then Roberto would be used for DOT. The stainless. Because, you know, Roberto's stats justify it over any other synergy. Break has been having a bit of an existential crisis lately because of the way the cost system works. Tribby E1 is preferred over some Fugue teams, which is crazy to think about. And because Roberto is a 4.x unit, she's naturally going to have the same effectiveness as Tribby in those break teams, especially if you consider cost for cost with E1, which is, what are we doing here? The stats justify it over the synergy once again. She can also work with Acheron because her numbers are higher than most Nihility characters. And for everyone else that scales off attack before Amphoria, so 2.x characters, she's the best because her numbers are higher than everyone else. I hope you're starting to get the pattern here. Roberto is a very flexible unit at base, just because her kit works like this. But because her stats are high enough, she's also flexible in that sort of what the fuck are we doing type of way. I hope you're starting to understand the scale of this unit because I don't want to think about it anymore. She really is a top 3 support at her worst, and otherwise she's just the best because her stats are ridiculous and she works everywhere. Like, I think at her worst, Robin is just a side grade. Maybe a slight downgrade for some teams that have very specific applications already at E0, like, you know, in the break team, I guess, but at E1. At E1, she starts to really make everybody else look like a piece of shit. I don't know why this is, man. Now, you might be thinking, you know, this isn't such a big problem. She's not actually generic because her vibes mechanic is hard to build up. Which, okay, that sounds fair. But again, even at her worst, she still provides more stats than most 3.x units, so like, even outliers like Evernight and Specialists, even outliers like Evernight and Specialists like Ceregra have around the same stats as Robin, and Robin is more generic and has less team building clunk than they do. So like, again, I don't know what to say. She's broken. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want more proof that she's broken? Her E1 is also ridiculous like Tribby, so it's a very inexpensive way to like make her last longer in the meta. Like I guess I can talk about her E1. Her E1 is basically Cypher's kit. Oh, what are we doing here? Now, okay, I'm not gonna pretend this is like an entirely new concept, right? Like a support carrying a lot of teams and working everywhere. Like we've seen Tribby before, right? This is the channel that posted about the wheelchair meta. I don't think I need to explain any further how this can be the case. I think the main difference with Tribby and Roberto is that it seems like at the very least for now, from the entire 4 years of this game with all of the enemy designs, there is practically not a single one that actually can counter Roberto. At the very least, you could say from release, and people did say this, that Tribby was going to die in anything that was single target, which is true. That is demonstrably true. Anything that is pure single target, she dies to. And if the fight phases into single target often enough, and the 5 target uptime is bad enough, well, Tribby also just dies. you know, that's fair balancing, right? Like, she's clearly balanced around an enemy scenario that is a bit more rare than it should be, but, you know, she's fairly balanced for a unit like that. In Roberto's case, there isn't a single matchup that, at least from this, from at least before this point, where it actively neuters her. You can argue that she works really badly against the wolves, but the mecha wolves, you know, the ones that would stun you if you don't hit, but, you know, Robin has a memo sprite, so like her attack frequency isn't cooked because the birds attack pretty frequently enough. I mean, there really is no counter in terms of enemy lineup. And in terms of like her vibe stacking being a detriment, even with how bad her vibe stacking is, her stats are high enough to justify it. So like, what can you do to really say that this unit is bad in a certain situation? I guess depowered? Yeah, I guess depowered counters her, but like a million other units also get countered by depowered, so what's the point? There really is a... Every other matchup she's bad at, everybody else also suffers. Isn't she CC immune? Yeah, she's also CC immune, so like, you can't even like have a monster that spams CCs on their turn because she's just gonna block it. She can get kidnapped by Svarog's hand. I guess that's a counter, or the something unto death. I guess, but like, those matchups are also pretty rare nowadays. And like, you can think of situations, you can think of team comps where the attack frequency is low, right? Let's think of one. I think the lowest attack frequency meta hyper carry right now is Reen. She doesn't have a lot of attack frequency at all. Well, the thing about Reen is that she's already a gimmicky sustainless unit, and if she's not running sustainless, Roberto's not gonna fix that either way. And nobody's gonna fix that for her, actually. Roberto's your best option either way. So that doesn't really matter. You can also time Robin's ultimate so that Reen gets the highest amount of defense shred to just kill the enemy before the timer goes down. The next hyper carry is Gilgamesh with Saber, but like, that team actually has decent enough attack frequency where it isn't a problem, and they natively run Quovo anyway, which helps Roberto, so that isn't a problem. What other hyper carry team is there? I guess Himiko. Himiko attacks a lot. She has the she has the assist skill, and most of her wealth attacks pretty frequently too, with how high his speed is. And you know, that team runs either Hyacinth or Fofo again, so like, that also isn't a problem. She makes use of all of the best units that you would have been using anyway for those teams, so like, it doesn't matter on that front. And then anybody else, I guess, would be like 1.x and 2.x units who are so cooked that if they're not clearing with Roberto, they're not clearing with anybody else. Like Dr. Ratio, he's still gonna use Roberto. Argenti is still gonna use Roberto. Jing Yuan's still gonna use Roberto. Like, what are we doing here? So like, she really doesn't have any team building weaknesses. It seems all pretty fake. Of course, we have to like future craft a bit that, oh, the next generic support is also gonna bring more buffs than Roberto is at lower vibe stacking and like bad team building, but you can say that about any character. We already know the curse of generalists, right? Their buffs are gonna be... Their buffs are generally gonna be worse than specialists. And that's already true for Roberto. Evernight does give more crit damage, but because of the modifiers and everything. That isn't necessarily true, but anyway. The curse of the generalist is that they'll have the best buffs at release, but later on the specialists are going to outrank them. But we also know from generalists like Triby that all you really need is a good E1, and you can catch up to specialists pretty well as a substitute. So, you know, that also isn't really a weakness. And, you know, Roberto has a better E2 than Triby does, so he also doesn't suffer from a Triby problem where it's just E1 and that's it. She has E2. she's not finished yet, bro. And their E2 is really broken for the teams that she isn't supposed to work with. So yeah. Feel free to comment down below when I make this a YouTube video of what you think Robin's weaknesses are going to be, because I can pretty much... I'm really trying to find a reason to diminish this unit in how good they are. I'm really, like, grasping at straws trying to think of ways where she could be terrible for your account. I have not thought of one yet. She's also really good for sustainless, obviously. And because of the way sustainless works, you get enough attack frequency where not getting energy through healing and stuff from her trace is fine enough, actually. This unit is fucked up. What else, right? Like... Her only weakness is sustainless, since if her birds die, then she gets out of her state. But you could also argue that because their stats are so high, the enemy will die before they take that many turns to kill her. Like, she's the best character at creating a situation like that. I don't know, man. So even if you take sustainless teams out of, like, the meta of what we're talking about, with a sustain, Robin with either Ho-Ho or Hyacine is already good enough. It should be able to satisfy all of her energy needs. And because Robin works the way that she does, she is probably the best character at reach not reaching. She's probably the best character at bridging the gap between a sustainless and a non-sustainless team, especially for attack-based teams, right? Which is really good if you're a casual player, because you're 99% going to run a sustain. And Robin doesn't fall off that hard with a sustain, at least compared to other units. Obviously, sustainless will always be better. It's just she doesn't fall off as hard as other characters. And again, she's not locked to a healer like Mortinox Blade, which just... I don't know. you can finally use DHPT in a like a follow-up team. You don't have to use Mortinox Blade anymore, I guess. You still want Mortinox Blade anyway, but you know how it is. I don't know if I would call this a wheelchair. Also, if you have Mortinox Blade, you just run both of them together and it goes really crazy. Oh, man. I don't know if I would call this a wheelchair, and the only reason why I don't want to call it a wheelchair is because, you know, with Mortinox Blade and Robin, you're missing a sustain. I guess if you add, like, Hyacine to the wheelchair or Ho-Ho to the wheelchair, you basically have a 3-man team that is self-sustaining. Nobody's gonna die with Hyacine around. If you don't have troubles dying, you can just use Swapwa. That should be fine. The safety is complete overkill. You have buffs that the fourth party member is going to abuse very thoroughly. Like, does the fourth party member even matter at this point? Why don't you just add, like, Tribi E1 to the Robin and Mortinox Blade Core and make Blade the main DPS, and it probably still clears compared to, like, a bad DPS. Like, Jing Yuan or something, and it probably works out better. And again, you can also invest into Robin's E1, which basically puts Cypher's kit into one slot because it gives you true damage. And the true damage scales up, by the way. Let me show it. This gets better as the fight goes on. It's actually not 11% true damage, it's actually 22%. And depending on some scenarios, apparently this just infinite, I guess, but I'm not sure on that. I think it's more so a 22% or more damage increase, but yeah. It's actually kind of better than Cypher. Oh, man. From my calcs, it's only like an upper limit of 22%. It doesn't go any higher than that. But I could be missing some scenarios where this just stacks infinitely, which I don't know of. I'm not really sure. There probably is something that I'm not checking. Anyway, we're talking about Roberto for a long time. Let's talk about let's talk about Robin being a must pull, because I think Roberto is the closest model that will ever get to an actual must pull. Because there just isn't a situation that I can think Robin isn't a good character to pull on. Like, you can talk about opportunity costs like, oh, I want to pull E2 Final over Robin, that's fine. But there isn't a true situation. But even then, you can argue that E2 Final is for one team. Roberto is for all of your teams. So, like, you're never gonna be at, like, a loss for investing into Robin, I think. Like, the really messed up part about this is, Roberto doesn't buff anybody so specially because of how generic she is. The strongest case you could make is that she buffs Gilgamesh more than other characters, but because of Gilgamesh's placing, it's not like he's going to be better than Himiko Nova all of a sudden. It's not like he's going to be better than Ashblade, that's for sure. It's not like he's going to be better than Mono Male with WAVEMAN and all of that. With Robin. And if you take non-meta teams into consideration, Aglaya has a strong synergy with Roberto, but Aglaya's pull value doesn't really change. Same case with Anaxa. It's like Anaxa's still like a character that is balanced the way that he is, that he's not gonna be beating out anybody that he's already beaten. You know, the bad characters like Yun Li, etc. have extra synergy with Roberto, but it's not like, again, their placings really change. Because of how generic Robin is, everybody gets a boost from this, and because of that, nobody really moves in the meta. The strongest character that you could have a case for is Gilgamesh, and even then, it's like, he's not really moving above the top 1% and all of that. Would Robin SP be an upgrade for Castrus and Mono Rem? I mean, the thing about Mono Rem Robin Summeretto is that you can replace anyone that isn't Hyacine technically. Because I mean, you could replace Evernight, as crazy as that sounds, but obviously Evernight's gonna be better. You could replace Casterus, but you just change the structure of the team to be an Evernight hyper carry team. So like, okay, that also works. It isn't the best in slot though, because especially at higher cost, Casterus's investment is monstrously high. So like, yeah, she is an upgrade. She makes mono rem split easier if you want that. She's definitely like a must pull if you're a rem split type of person. That's for sure. In mono rem, who does she ult? Evernight, because she's the only one that profits off the energy. That's why you don't run her. That's why you don't run Cyrene in that way, because Cyrene doesn't. If you run Cyrene, Castris, and Roberto, you put it on Hyacine? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, you kind of want Evernight. More than Cyrene in this case. I guess if you want to run Sustainless Evernight. Anyway, let's move on. I'm getting hung up on Robin. I'm about to be finished anyway. This is kind of a situation where the rich get richer and the poor get somewhat richer, but not enough for them to be rich. Which isn't a bad thing, you know? Like, I think generally a character that makes every account boost up by like 20% is a good thing, especially if it's a free character. Like, the closest I could give a resemblance to is RMC, who was given for free and just buffed every account in one swoop. Or Free Sparkle, something like that, right? So, you know, I'm not really against this type of model all the way. Because, you know, who cares if Anoxa isn't going to be beating out more characters all of a sudden? At the very least, he clears faster, right? Same with Aglaia. At the very least, Aglaia clears faster now compared to what she was. Now, this would be the case if we aren't going to face a 20% HP inflation and all of that bullshit. Surely in the next patch we aren't going to be facing a Star Wars stage where it has 3 times the HP of the 4.0 King stage. Surely we aren't going to be facing a 76 million HP Hule in Pure Fiction because, I don't know. Surely we aren't going to be facing an MOC where it has more HP than the King stage in 4.0. And, you know, surely this isn't gonna be a problem for everybody in the game. Not just, yeah, you know, that's... If only we don't live in this world. So it's almost like Robin boosted everyone's power, but the HP increased to where they clear the same speed anyway. Okay. Well, I suppose we've ended up in this situation. So, in essence, Robin is a really broken character, but because of how generic she is, it's not like the characters are moving tiers because of their synergy with Robin, because she works with everyone. But it's also because the HP is inflating next patch, it's not like the characters are gonna clear faster, at least significantly. Like, it feels like it's gonna be the same performance before and after Robin because the HP inflated enough for it to be not as impactful as it seems. If you didn't pull Robin though, then I pray for you. I mean, you're not gonna end up with a bricked account if you don't pull Robin, but you're definitely gonna struggle a bit more compared to if you didn't. Compared to if you did pull her. Just as a warning. Anyway, this is why I consider Robin a must pull. In nearly every account, she can be used with a team that you've already pulled. And unlike a character like Himiko Nova, Roberto will be used more because she's a support. Will you be bricked if you skip her? No. Will content seem unbalanced or really annoying if you skip her? It probably will be. High chance it is. If your account didn't pull more to compensate for it. I mean, I worded that weird. If you're not a paying account, it's probably going to be a lot more of a struggle, and if you have to pull more cost in terms of Eidolons to make up for it, I guess. Also, just because the HP inflated in Robin's patch, it definitely means it's not gonna stop inflating. Don't be complacent. It's gonna be 20% now, and in the next time, it's gonna be worse. So, just keep that in mind. This is the first time in my entire YouTube career, I think, that I'm just going to absolutely recommend everybody to pull a character. There hasn't been a unit that has so few weaknesses and team restrictions that I genuinely don't know of a situation where you could skip this unit. Even if you're like someone that pulls teams that she is downgrade in, like Break and DOT, or like at the very worst a side grade in DOT and Break, I still think you would want her because of sustainless and all that. Or your first team or third team in that account. Like, it's really difficult to think of a situation where an account just regrets pulling E1 like E1 or E0 Roberto, like, at all. So I think for the first time, I'm going to say this is a must-pull character for any account. That's really rare for me to say. Even Tribi E1, I hesitate to recommend that freely. There is probably edge cases that I'm not thinking of, but I think they're so few in number that I don't think it's worth mentioning. I want to finish my team Elation team with Pearl. Do I still try to pull Robert? It depends on what Pearl is. If Pearl is a sustain, you're gonna pull Roberto anyway because EMC is a fraud. If Pearl is a support, then I guess you can skip Robin. Specifically just for Elation, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait, right? If Pearl is really gonna be all that. And because Pearl is a sustain, sustains have pretty weird value that I'll have to evaluate later on. It's sustains are not always a recommendation, depending on the account. Does she need her light cone? No, she can use the Cyrene 4-star one, or she can also use the MOC one. Honestly, even though the stats on that light cone are wasted, who fucking cares? Robin's stats are high enough that even with shitty out light cone, she still works. And if you have premium LCs like Cyrene, just use that. It's not gonna kill you. Even with the light cone difference, she's just a busted unit. Even the sweatiest people I know think this unit is a mistake. Oh man. Anyway. I guess we talk about Robin investment now, right? Since Robin is a support, it's kind of straightforward on how to pull her, and she's really similar to Tribi. A lot of what makes Robin investment a bit more complicated is is if you're planning to invest in your DPSs, right? Like, let's say you're a fine on account truther, and you don't have E2. Obviously, you want E2 first before Robin. because, yeah, E2 is a higher increase. But if all that's left in your investment is Robin, she's a pretty straightforward character to invest in. She doesn't need her light cone, especially if you already have stuff like Cyrene LC and whatever. And because the stats on the free-to-play LC, oh, you can also use the Battle Pass LCs for her, by the way. It's fine. But yeah, it's like she has Battle Pass LCs that are good. Her free-to-play LCs are garbage, but it's Robin, so even then it doesn't matter. And her E1 is, again, E1 is basically condensing Robin's kit into into her slot, which is crazy to think about. It's pretty similar in terms of power level to Tribi, because it's really strong specifically against AoE. Like in matchups where this is really noticeable with teams that struggle in single target and have good AoE, like Mortinox Blade. And even in the mono men team, those teams usually don't have a lot of good single target. Thankfully, Aventurine kind of fixes that, but this allows Blade to condense his damage into a single target where it would be really tough to do so. Which is situationally really strong, especially against you know, the Skarakabas where the main target has damage reduction and all that. And then you have Robin's E2, which is, unlike Tribi, really busted too. It's 18% res pen. That by itself is already good. But now, Roberto's buffs get stronger and you can actually stack it. Really well, actually. You'll get 70 in, like, at the very least, usable synergies. Where otherwise they would just be capped at 40. Now you're probably hitting 70 with this. This is a fucked up Eidolon. I don't know what they're thinking. So yeah, I would say that you pull first for her E1 and E2 before her Sig. Her Sig isn't bad though. Like, it gives speed for the entire party, which is really good, but E1 is E1, you know? And E2 is E2. Like, what else could you ask for? Oh man. Anyway. I guess that's it for her investment. Eidolons before Sig, up to E2 for the Eidolons. I don't think I can make a Roberto team investment chart because that would, like, include the entire roster of characters because of how generic she is. And I don't think I can do that in one video. Maybe I'll make a separate video of, like, a Robin teammate tier list. Like I said, Robin is an account booster like Tribi, meaning pulling Robin's Eidolons will upgrade your entire account, but it might not be the best. Like, pulling Roberto's Eidolons won't be the singular best increase for a team, but it will upgrade everyone in your account. So, you know, it's not bad, honestly. Especially if you're thinking of, like, newer DPSs with better Eidolons, you can skip out on Robin Eidolons, I guess, because new DPS E2s are just really crazy. Again, she's an RMC upgrade. I think that just shows how busted she is by itself, really. Even then, that's like scratching the surface. Okay, finally. I've talked enough about Roberto. God damn, that took a while. Next, WAVENturine. Oh god, this unit is equally this man has ruined my YouTube algorithm, I think, because now that people are looking up WAVEMAN, they're getting WAVENturine, and it's... I don't know how to feel about that. I think my YouTube algorithm has given me less searchability because of this dude. Maybe this is a targeted hate campaign against me, instead of just shutting down my channel, but anyway. Aventurine. Should we just call him WAVEN? It sounds too similar to WAVEMAN. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Let's just call him WAVEN. WAVEN is an elation unit that actually fulfilled the prophecy. He is an elation character that for once in the entire path's history isn't completely stuck to other elation units and isn't complete cope at all, actually. He's actually really good outside of elation teams, which is a shock to anybody that knows about elation's mechanics and their entire roster so far. So he's a speed scaler, just like Silverwolf, so you can use defensive main stats on him, I guess, but that's not really interesting. What is interesting about WAVEventurine is that his entire kit kind of revolves around one trace. Let me show it. Let me show it. His entire kit revolves around this. This is basically his entire kit. It shows you the entire essence of his kit. If there are no other elation characters in the team besides Aventurine, if there are others, sorry. So if you're running an elation character with Aventurine, he increases everybody's elation by 20%, and then he increases his own elation by 80%, which is a ridiculous amount of elation. But if WAVEN is the only elation character in the team, when he deals damage using his elation skill, it is considered as a follow-up attack. So, he gets all of the juicy buffs from Ash Veil's follow-up attack crit damage buff and the defense shred too. And also other boosters like vulnerability from follow-up attacks and all that shit. After a teammate uses an attack, Aventurine Wave Flare gains 2 points of Certified Banger and 1 punchline, and increases Aha speed by 25. The speed boost effect lasts until the end of Aha instant. So, you don't have to worry about, oh, what if his elation skill is too slow because he's not using Yao Guang? Well, he increases Aha speed because F balancing, I guess. And he also generates Certified Banger off of a mechanic that isn't locked behind elation. Hallelujah! Just with this trace alone, you can tell that he can work outside of elation. What a surprise. So, his entire kit revolves around that one trace. His talent extends all of his certified banger buffs by 1 turn, giving him more damage, which is good. And when a teammate uses an attack, WAVEN gains 1 fervor and 1 punchline, with fervor capped at 30. So he gains even more punchline, which makes his punchline gain more competitive than Sparksy in some situations. Why is this unit like this? Anyway, when WAVEN reaches 10 fervor, he will do a weaker version of his elation skill with 20 fixed punchline. And the next time Aha takes their turn, WAVEN will do a elation skill that is stronger than the one where he just reaches 10. The elation skill that hits harder will consume all of his fervor, and he does more damage the more fervor that he has. Both elation skills are bounced, so their single target is pretty good. It really helps the follow-up attack being a lot more AoE-centric right now. And the multipliers for his elation skill are pretty impressive, honestly. Also, Aventurine's skill and ultimate give him fervor and are AoE. Yeah, just pure AoE on skill and ultimate. His trace also gives crit damage to everyone that attacks, even follow-up attack units. And he basically stacks an extra 12 fervor after every ult use. It's, you know, that basically you just gain 10 extra fervor when characters attack every ult, whatever. He's a pretty simple character, you know. He's very reminiscent of Fei Xiao. Just do a lot of follow-up attacks and boom, you do a large follow-up attack. Actually, he's kind of a bit more like Jing Yuan, I think, in Currency Wars, which is funny to think about. If you want a like a scale of how good his multipliers are. His weak elation skill, the one where it triggers when he has 10 fervor, deals a total of 240% elation single target. Sparksy's elation skill is 550% elation. But because WAVEN has an extra elation skill that's stronger than his 10 fervor one, it happens pretty frequently, and at the start it deals 60% AoE, then 180% split into 10 bounces, and then 21% elation for each point of fervor he consumes. So like let's be a bit conservative. Let's say you're at 20 fervor with Aventurine. His stronger elation skill will do 660% elation. And this elation skill happens a lot. Again, it gains 25 speed when anybody does an attack. That is a fast aha instant for follow-up attack teams. And again, you can still stack this up to 30, which means 660% is already a low ball. This elation skill hits like crack. And then you also have to add the 240% elation from the weaker one, and it's crazy. This unit does a lot of damage. And again, Aventurine also buffs everybody's crit damage too. So, the problem... I think this overall gives me... This overall leads me to be a bit sad about the balancing of WAVEventurine, because the idea behind this unit is cool. The balancing behind it is terrible. You might hear a couple of outrageous takes in the next few minutes, because this is the reality that we are living in, and Honkai Star Rail is a shitty game that synergies do not matter if the numbers are high enough. That is a very common occurrence, and Aventurine is one of these units that show why that is the case. I want this to be really clear though first. WAVEventurine is a good character, and he's a firm best in slot in the mono male Ashblade team. The entire beta cycle for Aventurine was a redemption arc to get him to be the best in slot in the follow-up attack team, and I think people that want to pull for the mono men team are generally very happy, and they should be, because this is a really good unit. It makes the Ashblade team one of the best, if not the best, teams in the game. Right there with Himiko Nova and Mono Rem, especially at lower cost. So, you know, there's no complaints on that front because, yeah, Mono Men team. Yeah, that's okay. But the problem is that this unit is not just a mono male one-trick pony. This character is better than most Elation main DPSs at what they do. This character is better at Sparksy being a sub DPS, if not just a side grade. And the thing is that for every weaknesses that the present Elation main DPSs have, and even the sub DPSs, he has something that shows them up. Like in the case of if we compare him to Evanesia, he doesn't get cut by depowered. He absolutely does not care about depowered whatsoever. His entire team does not care about depowered because Yao Guang is not that big of an upgrade for him. It's actually kind of crazy. Compared to Silverwolf 999, he doesn't need shill. He doesn't need the enemies to give him punchline. He generates it on his own. He's good enough for it. Compared to Sparksy, his numbers are just higher. So, like... What? I believe the only times where the other Elation DPSs beat him is if they are shielded more. Because I guess it is pretty hard. I guess it is harder to shield Wave Venturing than the other units, especially Silverwolf 999. There's a lot of artificial shield that Silverwolf has where I can see why she could clear faster than Wave Venturing, but I don't like this balancing. Like, I think if you're gonna make Wave Venturing for the follow-up attack team and the Elation team, I think he should be at least worse than Silverwolf and Evanesia in, like, every situation. Because now you're just... Why did you even release Elation main DPSs like this and then release a better Elation DPS that's more generic? This is literally just straightforward power creep. There's nothing really to defend this. Like, even, okay, the fact that he is able to do this is such a bad sign. Because, okay, let's compare him to Evanesia, right? Evanesia has a busted E1. Guess what? Aventurine also has a busted E1. He also has a better E2. What is this unit? Silverwolf 999 falls off a lot without chill. Aventurine does not give a shit. In fact, if there is Elation anti-shill, let's just use the mono male team. He's viable in that. The other Elation characters are not viable outside of Elation. Sparksy's numbers are just shit, so like, what? Why are we like this? Why are we here? Numbers over synergy. The moral lesson of this entire patch. Like, don't get me wrong, I think there's a lot more issues with Elation as a whole. Because I think this wouldn't be a problem if there's just another support that you could put Yao in one team with Evanesia and Aventurine in another team with Pearl or something. Like, I think the main reason why this is such a big problem is because there's no second Elation support where you could run two Elation DPSs in separate teams. Yao Guang has a chokehold on 4 Elation main DPSs, and it feels really bad in this meta. Like, we're running out of design space to handle this archetype. Please take up the support design space. Please, I beg of you. This is like Tom and Jerry type of scheduling, just so goofy. I'm also not against Wave Venturing being the best in slot for mono men, since that is a pretty cool synergy, and because it's such a free-to-play cheap team, the follow-up attack team is, I mean, then I don't actually mind it at all. And it's not like the characters there are bad outside of their own team, except for, you know, Ashvale and Wave Venturing. With how powerful he is, I can understand if it's actually better if he was locked to follow-up attack just by itself anyway, but I don't think Wave Venturing should be balanced like this because it really is it really is just the epitome of why Star Rail balancing has such a bad rep with people. I don't think they should have gone away with Mono Elation having Wave Venturing be such a good character. Just like Robin, I think WAVEN is another example of Star Rail's balancing philosophy. We don't care about synergies, only the numbers matter in the end. WAVEN is at least Wave Venturing is sorta healthier, quote unquote, because he's isolated as a DPS and he's limited in what he can do, I guess. Like, obviously Robin is worse in terms of like a balancing perspective because she's so all-encompassing and swallows up every team archetype to strive harder and, you know, increase the DPS of everyone in the team, I guess, but everyone in the account, I guess, but you know what? Do I even want to care about this anymore? I guess we just gotta hope that Pearl's kit is actually a support because we can finally run 2 Elation teams and yeah, Evanessi just doesn't get kicked out. Good for her. It's also kind of an unwinnable situation either way because people either want Aventurine to be in mono Elation because I think from what I know, the main argument for Aventurine working with Elation is because that's the entire path's identity, right? Like he should be good for it. But you also have people like me who think I would love an Elation unit that doesn't just work with one team. I think WAVEmaN works way too well in the other team. Because he just trivializes everyone else. But what do I know, right? Maybe Pearl has a grand master plan to make this balancing make sense. You know, that's not out of the table yet. I'm gonna, like, stop myself from talking about this, and I'm just gonna give you, like, a TLDR, right? Wave Flare is objectively the strongest Elation character. Because for one, he doesn't have to use Yao Guang, and unlike Yao Guang herself, he doesn't have to use Elation. For two, his numbers are the highest if the team does have Yao Guang. In fact, his numbers are high enough that he can, at the very least, be a side grade to Evanescence, which is fucked up, even at higher Eidolon investment. And for three, he doesn't rely on shield like a certain Emanator. Lastly, his Eidolons are just as good, if not better, than the other Elation characters. So what else can I say about this unit? They are broken. They have no really, like, the downsides of the other Elation DPSs just do not apply for him. I don't know, they're smoking some crack. I don't know. This is why we have 20% HP inflation. I love HSR balancing. Okay, I guess we can talk about WAVEmaN investment now. This is a bit shorter than the Robin's one because, honestly, he's also pretty simple. First of all, WAVEmaN's E1 and E2 are the best damage increases for any of his teams. It can't be overstated how many attacks he can do at E2 and even at E1. Like, you can look at it right now. He just gains... he just gains an extra follow-up attack, which is... And then you have this one too, which is even more follow-up attack. This dude is so messed up, man. He basically has 2 Evanescia E1s, one of which is his E2. His signature is also really good too, obviously, because it gives speed. But the Elation Battle Pass LCs are actually pretty good too. And you don't necessarily have to pull for his signature for him to be good. Also, there's also still the Elation Light Cone 4-star that's like Shrooms, so if you're really running out of options, you could use that, and it works out because the E1 and E2 are just so busted that it works anyway. His teammate situation is kind of interesting though. Ashvale is more important for Wave Flare than Mortinox Blade because Ashvale's crit damage buff is so big. And you know, Wave Flare turns his Elation skill into a follow-up attack, and because Elation scales up crit damage, yeah, everything in Ashvale's kit buffs that. The third slot can be between Mortinox Blade and Robin. The problem with Mortinox Blade is that his damage percent buff does not matter at all for Wave Flare. And Wave Flare is making most of the team's damage now. So, unfortunately, a part of his kit really hurts his usability to the point that Roberto is actually decent enough to sub in with. It also gets worse with higher investment because, like, yeah, he gains more follow-up attacks at E2, but Mortenox Blade at E2 does not give the damage percent boosts to Aventurine. It just doesn't work, which is really sad. There's apparently arguments that at E2 with Mortenox Blade or Robin ends up better because Robin's stats are just actually working, which is weird to think about. But don't take this as a sign that you should skip Mortenox Blade for Roberto. Mortenox Blade does end up being best in slot most of the time, especially if the enemies hit a lot, which should be more common these days, I think. And because Ashvale is so squishy, you do want to have a tanky character like Blade lying around so he can tank the hits for you, especially at Sustainless. Because Ashvale definitely needs all the help he can get at Sustainless. Even in sustained runs, he might just fall over sometimes. The old man is pretty fragile. So you know, you still want to run Mortenox Blade with WAVEN. It's good. The mono male team is a real thing. Oh yeah, there's also the Gacha Cone, yeah. But if you're pulling for the Gacha Cone, you might as well pull for the SIG anyway. But yeah, I mean, if you luck into like S1 of this, yeah, this is a good light cone. That's it for WAVEN, I guess. Wait, no, not yet. I still have to talk about like yeah. Between Mortenox Blade and Roberto, the third slot could be either. The damage difference isn't a lot apparently, so yeah, it's okay. For the investment priority, you want Aventurine's team to be filled out first, so you want E0 Ashblade, E0 Roberto or Mortenox Blade. And I guess if you have the free Huohuo, just use that. And if you have Hyacine, use that. Oh yeah, I forgot also. I guess if you're using Roberto, you can finally use DHPT. But because you're locked to using a healer with Blade, unless you're sustainless in, but either way. Once you get the E0 of his full team, you just kind of bum rush to E2 Aventurine. He does make up most of the team's damage. And unfortunately, that means that Ashvale Sig isn't that good. It's more so... Ashvale Sig is more so good for his own personal damage, and he's getting a new Hunt LC that's for free, that at least works for him. And then Mortenox Blade doesn't need his Sig either. It's definitely not as good as any of Aventurine's Eidolons, so... yeah. You just go straight to E2 Wave Flare after you get the entire team. Yeah, that's it. Pretty simple character, right? Not a mono men team, then. Yeah. This is the awkward part of it, you know? Even in the showcases that they showed with WAVEN, they had to use DHPT, and it doesn't make any sense at all because he can't heal that. This is the situation where Roberto would be better because you can put the shield on because Blade just stops doing damage at some point, right? And Roberto has enough stats to make up for Blade being out of the picture without personal damage, right? It's kind of sad that this is probably still the best mono men team because who else? Like Gallagher, Luocha. We're in dire straits at this point, man. Anyway, that's it for WAVENturine and Roberto. Again, I guess I need to restate this. It is what it is. Even with all of the balanced releases, like Gilgamesh ended up being a pretty balanced character, but they released Roberto and WAVEmaN anyway. They released Ashblade as a balanced character. Ashvale, just Ashvale. They released Ashvale as a balanced character, and they ended up with this situation anyway. They released Sparksy in the state that she was at, which is balanced, and we ended up with this anyway. So it doesn't matter, really, if a character comes out being balanced. There's always going to be that one character that's really strong, and the weaker characters just end up getting left behind more. It doesn't matter. Like the balanced, the worst it ever got was Cypher, really. But at the very least, they did this well enough that, you know, the only real casualty is Sparksy. At least Ashvale gets put in a team, so he's like not that bad. But then you have Roberto, who's just, it is what it is, right? Like it's not gonna stop anytime soon. The best that we can do is like either protect ourselves or just not give a fuck about meta. I'm in the business of making sure that you protect yourselves as best as possible from this. Like, if you don't want to get screwed over by power creep, I'm going to try and give you the best advice to get away with it, you know? That's pretty much the only reason why I'm still making content at this point, because I've lost all hope for balancing, really. I've lost hope for a while now, so the very least I could do is help you guys to navigate how messy this balancing is. I'm gonna make a video someday of a more expanded topic of this, but like, the reason why it's not just AA, like the reason why I'm so concerned about this, despite the fact that AA is not symbolizing the entire player base, the problem is that AA balancing is starting to bleed into Starward mode. It's actually bleeding into Starward mode in a very concerning rate. And Starward mode has 100 Jades. And as we've learned with HSR, if they can get away with the least, they'll get away with more. So, I also wouldn't be surprised if at some point, MOC is just slightly easier night stages. Like, slightly. At this point, it's easier than night stages outright, but at some point, it might end up being slightly easier only. So, you know, what can we do, right? There's no use in crying over spilled milk. This is a billion-dollar company. So that's why even though it like AA is not a realistic measure of the player base's power level, it's also not. The other modes are catching up to it, which I'm not very excited about. It means at some point the problems of anomaly arbitration is also going to bleed a bit into Star Wars mode and all of that, and well, in which case we're kind of screwed. At least the score system is better, you know? So yeah. Wow, I had the stream up longer than I thought it would be. It's 3 hours though, productive talk, I would say. Yeah. I'm going to start editing the review. I'm going to start editing this stream to be a banner review of Roberto and WAVEmaN. You guys should watch it. I'm probably gonna have it uploaded by tomorrow. And then I'm gonna have a topic video on Monday. Yes, I'm actually gonna have it. I have scripted an entire video and I actually feel proud about it. So I guess all that's left now is to thank you all for watching. And I'm going to send you to another streamer, whoever is active right now. Let me look it up. Are there any friends that are active at the moment? Is Catch live? He's not. Is Otux live? No. Is Moon live? No. She streamed 10 hours ago. What crazy timing. Is Let me raid Mr. Poke. I'm pretty sure he's Okay, I'm gonna raid Mr. Poke. I'm sure you guys are a fan of Mr. Poke, right? Right? He's the only one that's coming up to my brain right now. The rest of my friends are offline. Okay. Let me redirect you guys to Mr. Poke. Tell them WAVEMAN sent you. And make it a plug, right? Like make it a plug that Why can't I copy paste the redirect? Okay. I'll see y'all in Mr. Poke stream, I guess. I won't be watching the entirety of it because I'm gonna be editing. Bye!